Hello, everybody. Welcome to 149 of the ReelTok Podcast. Today, we have all four hosts for a memorial episode of the man, the myth, the legend, Superman. Oh, okay, that was supposed to be met with applause. We have Superman review this week. As always, shout out to our executive producers, Stefan Niebrick, Stefan Johnson, Cole Beaver, Cody Whitney. Sorry, mixed the two. I apologize. We have a Superman episode. Basically, we'll talk that. We'll talk maybe I watched all of the Superman movies. I'll probably give my rankings at the end. If anyone else has a rankings, they're more than welcome to give theirs.
I'll give my James Gunn ranking. I just finished all of James Gunn's films. So
perfect.
Yeah, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Why not?
I saw you log.
Anything for clips.
Slither?
Yeah.
Anything for the clicks. So yeah, we'll talk that a little bit. Obviously, latest movie news, latest trailers. We don't, unfortunately, I wish we did record this tomorrow. So we're recording this on Saturday. Kind of wish we recorded this tomorrow so we had like a better box office update on how Superman's performing. But it looks like it's kind of doing numbers, y'all. It's the biggest opening day of 2025. I know that at the very least. So hell yeah to that. Hopefully, Superman does well so this universe can get up and at him and don't have to worry about any of the bullshit. All right. Yeah. But we'll start obviously with how we're doing. What have we been watching? We'll go over to George wasn't here last week. So George, fill us in.
Hey.
Hey. What's up? I'm good. I'm chilling. I was in I missed the episode last week. You guys did great. I love the sode. I loved your yap sesh. It's like Tyler always says, it's cool listening to an episode like without you because it's like listening as a fan. So I love doing that. But yeah, it was good. I was in Copenhagen, like I said a couple weeks ago. Ton of fun. Yeah, great city. Really beautiful city. No city is immune to garbage and homeless, but Copenhagen keeps it under control. It was significantly better than New York does, but
it is clean, isn't it? I thought
it is a very clean city. Yeah, that's coming like every time. Victoria and I always say this every time we travel. Like I always just hyper focus on like the cleanliness of a city because I always want to like compare it to New York City and be like, are we really that bad?
Yeah, I do the same.
And the answer is yes. New York City is really that bad. But yeah, Denmark is beautiful. It's got like the traditional architecture, the beautiful colored houses, a lot of the boats and the channels, and it's really beautiful. A lot of beautiful people, man. That's also one thing I noticed. There are so many just gorgeous people in Denmark. It's
they're so tall as well.
They're so tall. They're blonde. They're fit. And then you realize, like, I was like, why is everyone around here so fucking fit? And it's like, oh, because everyone's breakfast is just a piece of bread and butter, and that's it. It's all they're eating. That's what we ate 5 days in a row every morning was just sourdough bread and butter. And it's crazy. Everyone's beautiful in that country. Tall and blonde and beautiful. But we had a great time. We got there Tuesday morning at like 6:30. We landed, so we were at the hotel by 7. We couldn't check in, so we just dropped our luggages off and we just left. Victoria and I spent all of Tuesday just walking around. We had no like plans Tuesday, so we walked around. We hit a cafe. Victoria, every time we travel, she's like the itinerary person. She puts together like the list of restaurants she wants to hit, cafes she wants to hit, bars, stores, tourist attractions. She's always the itinerary person.
Did you go to any of the museums?
We didn't go to like the traditional museums. We went to a bunch of like the castles.
Did you go to the palace? I think I saw Victoria.
Yeah. We went to like I forget what they're called, but we went to like one of their old summer homes. We went to their current residence. We went to a couple of things. We went to like the Parliament building, but you can't go in the side that's active. You go in like the old living quarters side. So it was very cool, very, very beautiful city, very beautiful architecture. We saw the king, which was crazy. On Wednesday, we did like a full tour of the city. Like we were with a tour guide and we drove from place to place, and it was a whole day. And we pull up to this one spot on the tour. It was right on the water, and the point of the tour was to show us that like France had one of their massive ships like docked in Denmark. And as we pull up, there was a crowd standing there, and we were like, hey, what's going on? And they were like, yeah, the king's about to come and go on the ship. So we waited like 10 minutes. King pulls up. nonchalant. Dude rolls out of a car and just walks onto a charter boat, and that's it. It would like two security guards. Everyone was just kind of standing there like, oh, the king's here. Like it was insane.
Yeah,
like
it is wild. Yeah.
you think about like the U.S. president. Like the U.S. president can't go anywhere without
or like
a brigade
royalty
of
here.
or royalty there. Like it's
Crazy.
insane. Like he was like such a chill dude. So that was very cool. Thursday we did like a bike tour of the city, and it was like a bike food tour. So we biked around the city, stopped at like some cafes and tried like their traditional like those sandwiches that don't have the top on them. We tried a lot of different like fish meals, so that was cool. And then Friday, Saturday was wedding stuff because we were there for a high school friend's wedding. So it was cool.
Are they Danish? One of
he
them?
is. Yeah, he is Danish. Yeah, he's
I was gonna
Danish.
say, I thought it was like two Americans. I was like, why are they getting married?
No. He is. He might be Norwegian if I am not mistaken.
Okay.
There's a good chance he's Norwegian. I should know this, but I don't. But yeah, either way, she's from Long Island. They met in Copenhagen and they got married in Copenhagen. So really beautiful wedding, man. Really, really gorgeous wedding. Danish/Norwegian weddings are so interesting because like American like when you guys will see when you come to my wedding in a couple weeks, like once cocktail hour is over, you guys are going to like go into the reception hall, find your seats, and then music's going to start. You're going to be on the dance floor immediately. Danish weddings, we were sitting for like 4 hours eating. Like we weren't up dancing. There was like barely any music playing. It was very light and calming and soothing. And they did very long speeches. And then they moved the tables out of the way and the dance floor opened from like 10 to like, I think we were there till like 3 a.m. Right. So it was very interesting, like structure of a wedding. So it was cool to see that culture in like a religious ceremony, but it was very cool. It was very cool. Beautiful wedding, beautiful country. And we had a really good time. Work this week was just hell, playing catch up. You always, every time I go on vacation, I'm like, oh, it's only like, I'm only really missing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Monday. So only Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, 4 days because we had off for the 4th of July. So I was like, how much could I really be backed up on in 4 days? The answer is a lot. The answer is I could be really backed up in 4 days. So this week was an absolute grind, especially since this coming week, the week that we're in right now, is my last week before my 2-weeker. So like it's I'm like playing catch up, but also trying to finish so much in the next 5 days. But it's all good stuff. That's been kind of it. I've been kind of watching. Actually, not really. I haven't been watching a lot. I watched on the plane to Copenhagen. I watched Who is Stan Smith? Cool documentary about Stan Smith, his tennis career, his rise in like the shoe industry and the fashion industry. Really cool documentary. Definitely recommend it. I watched Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, the documentary that came out last year or a couple months ago about Christopher Reeve. That shit made me cry, man. That is such a sad, unbelievably sad, really, really good doc. Just such an I haven't stopped thinking about that documentary. I haven't stopped thinking about Christopher Reeve since I watched it. It's just so heartbreaking. It's so sad. It really is just one of the most tragic stories, I guess, in like all of Hollywood. And it left such a pit in my stomach. People obviously always talk about Christopher Reeve being this hero, and he's Superman in real life. But one of my bigger takeaways was Dana Reeve, his wife. That woman is a saint. That woman is an absolute hero on the same level as Christopher Reeve. To be able to provide that level of care and comfort, and that's a big part of her life as well. And then, finding out 7 months after Christopher Reeve died that she has stage 4 cancer, like that's an insanely tragic situation and story. But yeah, really, really good documentary. Made me cry on the plane. Plane ride home, I only watched one movie. I was kind of in and out of sleep, but I watched At World's End. Movie bangs. Movie absolutely bangs.
Yeah, Cam. Bitch.
Now that movie is
sorry, I'm typing, otherwise I would have came off mute quicker. Fine movie. Fine movie.
It's so good. That whole third
Perfectly
act,
okay.
dude. That whole I swear to God, if there's like one movie I could watch in IMAX like right now, I might pick At World's End over
That's
like
crazy.
hey dude.
No, it looks amazing, man.
That
World End
final
looks so
act
good.
is so
It does look really
up,
great,
man.
and I think that's what makes it fine. For a perfectly okay movie, it looks great. So
it's so
fine.
good, man. I watched Superman twice, which we'll talk about. I watched The Death of Superman, the animated film, which I really, really enjoy. I think I would have to really look at like my DC animated universe ranking, but I can't imagine this isn't in like the top 10 or maybe even top like 6 or 7. Man of Steel rewatch, and then I watched Together. Got invited to an early screening of Together, the Dave Franco, Alison Brie film, the one that's been kind of under a little bit of fire for plagiarism. I think the movie's good. It definitely provided like some more laughing than I had anticipated, and like genuine laughs. Like there were really like some funny moments. I don't know how much it works as like a body horror romance or like dicey romance film. And then, you know, I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, but the third act probably removed a good star off my rating, or not even the third act. The final like 10 minutes probably removed an entire star off my rating. But really surprising nonetheless. I did not expect to come out of this movie with positive thoughts. Yeah, that's kind of been my 2 weeks. Besides Copenhagen, this week hasn't really been all that eventful. I'm like trying to think. I was supposed, we're recording this on Saturday. So yesterday, Friday, I was supposed to go to a Lumineers concert, and I had to go to the office on Friday. So I went to the office, and I was literally like, I'm at my desk, I'm falling asleep, man. I'm so fucking exhausted. And so I didn't end up going to Lumineers concert, unfortunately. Came home and just cooked dinner and just laid down on my couch. I napped for like an hour between like 7 and 8 o'clock. And then I woke up, and Love Island was at 9. So I watched that, and then I went to bed right after. So it's been exhausting, but you know, there's a lot of good stuff. You know, you guys are going to be here in literally 8 days from when we're recording this, which is
Wild. Yeah, 8 days.
Yeah, 8 days. 8 days. Yeah. Well, I thought I had my weeks wrong. Yeah, 8 days from when we're recording. Which is, it's crazy. I'm so unbelievably excited to have you guys. But yeah, that's it. That's been my 2 weeks kind of.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Horrible hosting. Tyler, tell us about your week.
Yeah, my week was pretty standard. I'm playing like getting ready for several weeks of travel ahead here, so a lot of pre-prep before leaving. But been a good week. Been enjoying like the sun and been going to the pool. One thing I'm realizing though is like, so I'll be like outside swimming for like 4 hours in the sun at the peak of the day, be outside, no shirt, and I'll barely get any like color, burn, tan, nothing. And then I'll go on a walk like during the middle of the day for like 45 minutes, but like I'll sweat and I'll get like my neck and shoulders are so burnt from on a walk yesterday. I'm like, bro, what that, like I swear sweat is like the ultimate cheat code to like getting color, I guess. Cause like I'm like literally 2 days ago, I was outside for like 5 hours at our friend's house, just like at the pool outside, hanging out, like straight sun and peak UV, nothing on my skin. And then like yesterday I go on this like 45-minute walk, and now my shoulders and neck are just like burnt to hell from just walking and getting all sweaty. So I don't know if I discovered some hack there. Maybe I just have to get sweaty before laying outside if you want to get some color. But that's what I've been up to. I'm next week, or like this week ahead, I'll be in San Diego for a few days for work. And then I'll be next week, obviously in New York City with the fellas. And then the week after that, we're going to be going to Austin to hopefully put a lease down on a house. So going to be traveling to California, New York,
That's
and Texas
exciting.
in 3 weeks. Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we haven't sold this house. I'm deciding to gamble and just saying whatever. I'm paying two until we get this sold, because I'm not going to keep killing our mental health anymore, and we're just going to cut the price this house is done. So it's going to be like bad financial decision, but life's too short. Like, what if I have to? Maybe I'll work until I'm 60 instead of 59. Like,
Once this podcast breaks up and goes bonkers at the box office, it won't matter, Tyler. So
yeah,
that's all you got to think is one day we'll be rich and famous.
exactly. And then I'll be able to pay my younger self back. But yeah, so California this week. I've never been to San Diego. I've been to LA several times, but never been to San Diego. Very excited. I'm scared I'm going to fall in love with it too much, but we'll see. Because like looking at the weather, it's like every day it's just like 75 and sunny, like never hot, never cold, just sunny, 75, perfect. Staying right on the ocean on a nice hotel. So I'm very excited for that for a few days. And then New York and then Texas. So a lot of travel coming up, getting kind of the three flavors. I was talking to Ryan, like those are like probably good 3 states that people not in America even know about, plus Florida. It's like Texas, Florida, California, New York. Like what else is there in America to a foreigner? I feel like those are like the 4. And you get your
Montana.
Montana. Yeah. No one in America. No one even in America goes to Montana.
I've always had a weird thing that I want to go to Montana. It just looks amazing, you know?
I mean, it's beautiful. I enjoyed my time in Montana. A lot of weird people there, but
isn't there more cows than people?
I wouldn't doubt it. I think
that's actually a fact.
Probably similar for that in Wyoming. I would not doubt it. We'd be having cows a lot of. So I don't even know if that's like a comment on the lack of population of people. I think it's more just like, you know, America be having cows everywhere. Yeah. So a lot of travel coming up. So I'm going to be prepping a ton today and tomorrow before the few weeks will be gone. But yeah, very excited for the weeks ahead here. What I've been watching, like I said, I've been watching all the James Gunn films. So started with movie 43, which I know he only directed like the one segment out of like, I don't know, there's probably like 10 segments of the movie. I don't know, but he only directs one. And I gave it a 1 star. Everyone gives it a half star. So I guess I liked it, 100% more than most people did. Because I think like 2 of the segments made me laugh, but it's just so hard to rate movies like that. Because it's like
a fake film.
When there's like 10 like shorts within one, it's like, how do you rate like a holistic body? Because I think a lot of it's like really awful, but I like can't lie, like the Hugh Jackman bit, which I'd seen before. I'm like, because he owns it so well. I was like, dude, this is just bizarre what I'm watching really right now. Yeah. But yeah, so watch movie 43 and then Superman, obviously, which we'll talk about. We rewatched Jaws, or I rewatched Jaws. It was Riley's first time watching Jaws. Great summer film. It's kind of just, good to watch every July. Then yesterday I watched a ton of movies. I watched The Night Before, which I loved. Like I had a great time at The Night Before. That's immediately entered my Christmas rotation. It's like The Holdovers, Little Women, and The Night Before, and I'm at like 3 modern Christmas movies that I'm going to be watching every year. I thought it was hilarious. I just love Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. The whole cast is so fun in this, and they're all just delivering great performances. I had a good time with The Night Before, and then I followed that up with Super, which I'd seen before once in college, which is James Gunn's original superhero comic book movie that he wrote himself. Is not based on anything, and really fun experience watching that after Superman, because it's like this, like it's not even like a hot take anymore. I feel like James Gunn is just like the definitive director who loves comic book movies more than like anyone I think we've ever seen directing films. Like this is before he ever did anything in the DC universe or Marvel universe. It's just like an original story he wrote about how like any common man can be a superhero. It's Rainn Wilson, who's just like hilarious, Dwight Schrute. And Elliot Page is awesome in it as well. Kevin Bacon, like Nathan Fillion's in every single movie James Gunn's ever directed, even these back ones. But yeah, but like half of this cast, like half of people in Super and Slither, like from 2006 and 2010, are like who is in the Superman and who's in the Guardians movies. Like it's not just like he's carrying Marvel people over to DC. It's like, no, these have been like James Gunn's crew since like 2006. Like he's always directed movies with all these people. So it's cool to see. He has like the same gang that's like all of the supporting cast members. Even like the what's her name? I need Superman cast in front of me.
I think I know what you mean.
Michaela Hoover's in his original films. I mean, obviously Sean Gunn's there. Who's the guy with the arrow in the Guardians films? He's in all of James Gunn's early films as well.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah. So really like everyone, all these people. And then like Kevin Bacon's in Super, who like obviously comes to the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. So, we need Rainn Wilson back. Get Rainn Wilson a job in the DC universe, because he's kind of like your only guy left. But Super's so fun. Like James Gunn just has so much passion for comic book movie making and just really understands what it's all about. Then I watched Slither, which is his debut feature film, which is like a science fiction horror film about like marriages collapsing, but it's like body horror, freaky. Like there's some cool scenes in it, but didn't end up loving much about it beyond that. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed pretty much everything James Gunn makes. So I enjoyed that watch through more than I expected. Obviously, movie 43 being the odd man out, the one I didn't like, but kind of hard to attribute that to just James Gunn. But then
Did you rewatch The Scoops?
Nah, it was just written by him. Because he's written a shit ton of movies more than he's directed. So that would have taken me way longer to get through all.
Did he do both? I thought he just did the first.
Yeah,
he adjusted the second.
Oh,
I thought he wrote both.
No.
This is another Michael Bay Transformer.
this isn't as bad as that one. Let me see.
That one was bad. Surprised we didn't.
I think he writes the first.
I thought he wrote both. Oh, he writes both.
He wrote the first. Oh, and the second. So he wrote both. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Cool.
Amazing.
Cool. Shout out James Gunn. What a guy. But then then finally finished up last night watching Sovereign, which is a new film from this year starring Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay. They're both so good in this. I really liked it. It was close to a 4. I gave it a 3.5.
Did you get emails about that?
Yeah, their email campaign was super aggressive. Because I saw so many people posting TikToks about it. I'm not going to post a TikTok about it, but they emailed me a screener like weeks ago or whatever, and I just never got around to it. And then finally, I was like, oh, I'll watch it, but my screener had expired, so I just went on, our favorite F2 movies and just watched it there. So I'm like, I'm not paying for it, but I'm not gonna ask this guy who's emailed me 4 times, like, have you watched it yet? But even without the email, like I was already interested in this because I really love Jacob Tremblay and think he's gonna be like just continue to be a force in every generation of his life as an actor. Nick Offerman is I usually kind of enjoy him in everything as well. But yeah, it's a very timely film. Like I said in my review, it'd be a great double bill with Adolescence, because Adolescence is like a show about, just how corrupted and poisoned the youth's mind, especially the youth male's mind, can be, like without your supervision. It's kind of like, the father's like has no clue what his son's getting up to and what he's doing at school and what kind of ideologies are being forced upon him from his peers and from online social media, where Sovereign's like the complete polar opposite. So it makes a good double bill where, Jacob Tremblay is homeschooled by his father, who's preaching all these like, the government's out to get you. Like you got to fight for yourself. Like you're a sovereign citizen of your own nation. Like just a complete like lunatic. Like, I don't know. It's just hard to explain, but he's perfect casting for it. Cause just like obviously his role from Parks and Rec, like he just has that ability to be like that staunch, strong beliefs person. And in this, he just takes it to the absolute extreme and forces his viewpoints onto his son, who just gets completely left behind in terms of education because he's homeschooled and his dad just preaches all his beliefs on him. But yeah, it's really good. I think I wouldn't say it's overly long because it's only like an hour and a half, but I think a lot of it just gets kind of redundant a bit. But beyond that, like what I actually like, the story itself, I think is really solid. And I think the performances are great. I think Jacob Tremblay is going to, when all things are said and done, could be, one of the greats just because he's from such a young age in Room. He gave one of the greatest child acting performances ever. And throughout his childhood, he was just in Life of Chuck. Now he's in this, and now he's like starting to become like, he's going to transition to being like an adult actor. So it's like, we'll see if he can continue like how great he was as a child actor, but I really love him and everything.
I don't know if I know who it is. Look at him.
Have you seen Room?
Is that the one with Brie Larson?
You seen Good Boys?
No.
Good Boys. Bad movie.
No, boo.
Yeah, you would love that movie.
I've seen Luca.
He's in Doctor Sleep.
Oh, I've seen Doctor Sleep. I don't remember a child. I've seen Luca. Is he one of the Lucas?
Flopper in or Flipper or whatever in the Little Mermaid live action, which again he's CGI, but
that's unfortunate.
He's in it. He's in it. All right, Seth, how are you? What have you been watching?
I am hot.
Hell yeah, you are.
Like sexy. Yeah, you are.
Bro, it's so hot. I'm not sleeping well. And then
Seth,
I looked at the forecast.
Is this? Do you guys have like AC? Like,
no.
Is that?
This is like the thing, when you see like, no offense, dumb Americans like on Twitter, and they're like, bro, it's only like 90. We don't have any AC in our houses.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's horrific. It's horrible. Sleeping is like, we've got 2 fans on me at all time right now. It's not fun. When suit shopping this morning, which is always my least favorite thing to do in the world. I hate, the annoying thing about buying a suit or anything like that nature, you have to kind of go and try it on. You can't just order it like anything else. Yeah. It's just the most painful shit ever.
Yeah, you can't go on like Amazon and just order like medium tux.
Like you can't. Yeah. Do you want to hear an interesting fact, guys? Do you want to hear an interesting fact?
Mm-hmm.
Love to.
This will be my first time in ever wearing a suit at George's wedding.
Nice.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Really?
It's
First
weird,
time
isn't
like
it?
ever?
So I've been to 2 weddings since I've been an adult, and each one has been an outside venue where it's been like more of like a shirt and tie, like not a blazer and stuff like that, completely outside. And when I used to work in like an office, I just wore like a shirt and like trousers, whatever.
Yeah. Interesting.
So this is my first little blazer. So that'll be fun.
Well, contrary to what you said, I did just order my suit off Amazon. But to be fair, I already had a suit, so I had my measurements. But it's just like I needed black, so I just
I mean, like I say,
That's-
I'm wearing a
so
suit.
it's not really.
You
exactly.
get it? Did you actually order it on Amazon though? Like,
Yeah. What do you mean?
I've never ordered
you
clothes
got
on
like
Amazon.
the exact measurements and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I have a suit jacket that's gray, and I wanted a
I
black
had
one. I
the
just
exact- I had the
typed
exact
in the
measurements.
That's fair. I guess I
and it's the
didn't-
same exact brand, so it fits the exact
All
same.
right, sure. Yeah,
I had the
sure.
measurements, but I just didn't want to like go.
I do not have the measurements.
Just
I mean,
in
my
case.
jacket doesn't fit
grown.
perfect. Don't get me wrong. It could
I
use
got
some
my,
tailoring, but it'll do
I
the
got
trick.
my dad's old tuxedo, and I just took it to get tailored. So if I'm looking
Nice.
geeked out, that might be why.
Nice.
You could have that like '80s fashion. No, that's kind of
Yeah.
No, it's a fine.
Like
it's
pulls
a,
out the Ron Weasley and Goblet of Fire, like a little fucking.
I should have
got
worn that.
the
man.
ruffled dress shirt, like
Yeah,
Amadeus
bro.
era type shit.
But yeah, it's been like I went to Harry Potter like the studios on Wednesday with TikTok. That was cool. Wait, you ready?
Oh, cool.
I
You
got my
have
wand.
What'd you get?
Oh, which one'd you get?
I'll pull it out. Hold on.
Dude, I need to find mine so badly.
I'll
Mine's at my
pull it
house.
out. I got
Yeah, I think mine's at my parents' house.
the one I wanted Voldemort.
Did you
but
have
I
to
don't
buy
think it was
this, or
there.
did you get this for free?
Well, it was funny, right? So we got everything for free, but except the shop, which was kind of annoying.
That's
But like
fine.
all the entry, the experiences.
I'm not
the-
saying they got to give you everything, but like a wand feels
they're
like
quite
a-
expensive. They're not like cheap.
They are.
but
They are expensive.
we
no
went
doubt.
to the food area, like the cafe
Yeah.
and whatever. And I was like, I was hungry. I got like a butterbeer, which by the way is not the fucking one. It's like a milkshake consistency.
Yeah.
Very, very odd. It's a bit much, I feel like. But I was like, oh, can I get this, this, and this? And they were like, oh, the whole menu's free to everyone. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. But I got the wand. Anyone want to guess who it is? Now it's a bit basic.
Nate.
But I like, wow,
you got-
that is unbelievable.
Did you?
Yeah, you like
Bro,
like
yeah, but even so, like you okay, this is
yeah.
there we go. wait.
Yeah, you can't really see it due to the take off your background.
No, there you go. You can't really see it.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I love
But
it.
it's- that was a really incredible
hey,
guess. though.
You went less basic than most people. I feel like I went basic. I got Voldemort, even though Snape's like
I kind of wanted Voldemort.
probably
I was
the
like,
fourth, the fourth most basic. I feel like it's
That's the
Elder
most
Wand,
basic choice.
Voldemort,
Elder Wand.
Harry Potter. and
I
then-
got the
Loads
Elder
of
Wand.
people got the Elder Wand. Loads.
Yeah,
of
I
people
mean,
got
Elder Wand's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's a good
It's
design.
the goat wand. It's the wand.
Yeah,
That's
But-
Nico's got a good one.
There was,
Bellatrix has a good one. Is
Bellatrix
hers
has a
the
really
bent
good one.
one?
Yeah,
Hers
yeah,
is the
yeah.
bent one, right? Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, it's like a bent in the middle, isn't it? Yeah. that's a
and
cool
then
one.
if you could get Lucius's wand with the like little snake head, whip that around, that would be
There
cool.
was-
But they just give it like with the straight.
There was one that I was gonna get, but it ran out. It was like the Death Eater one that has like a skull, a white skull at the end of it.
Yeah.
They're fucking cool, but that
Yeah.
ran out. But it was a really good experience. Like I think just seeing all the start of the Harry Potter shit as like a Harry Potter fan, there was like a section for every single area in the whole franchise and every single prop and whatever. It was really, really good. It was a really good evening. I went to a Superman screening as well, which obviously we'll discuss today. That's kind of it. Just been preparing for next week. Been playing some video games as always. I haven't watched much at all this week. I watched Goblet of Fire because I came home the day after. I was like, I want to watch Harry Potter, so I watched Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, it's ruining your life.
Sure.
Jumping out in the middle.
Someone
of Harry
watches
Potter's
my
crazy.
TikTok.
Mhm.
Yeah, I watched Goblet of Fire. Shit is so
so
good.
fucking
I
sick.
love Goblet of Fire, man. I love it.
Bro, are you guys
um,
watching those videos I'm sending you of that dude?
I
bro?
did watch
yeah.
them. You sent me
Yeah, I
the other
did
day.
watch.
They made me chuckle. I've
I
never
feel
seen
like
them
no one's
before.
reacting to those videos the way I am because those are the
No,
funniest
you like them a lot
videos.
more. Don't get me wrong, but
They are
Dude.
funny. They are
are
funny.
So,
I did watch one you sent me the other day. Actually, they are funny.
it's like
They are
the
good.
Goblet of Fire constitutes a binding magical contract, and he's like, "Well, it shouldn't do that. He's 14 years old."
It is mad when you think about it because it's like, bro, I felt so bad for the guy. Also, there was the Harry Potter experience. There was like this thing at the end where you could put your they'd give you a piece of paper and you put it in the what do you call it? Like what do you call it?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, you put it in the goblet.
Goblet of
okay,
fire.
okay.
Oh yeah,
I thought you were talking like a box or something. I didn't realize.
No.
They were
You, like they
still
had
on,
like a
carry.
like an
Okay, yeah,
electrical
cool.
like which smoked and whatever.
Yeah,
Bro,
cool.
I watched 50 people do it, and I'm just watching the guy who has like the clicker in his hand, so he decides whether someone wins or not. I'm just watching this fucking like old guy just say no to everyone. I didn't see a single person win that shit. And I don't know. I'm convinced no one did.
What do
that
you
day.
win if you what do you win?
what-
I don't know. I've no idea because no one fucking won it. Like literally no one won it. It was basically like out of hours. It finished like 12 a.m. But it was like specifically for like TikTok people, which is kind of cool. So there's like 60 of us, but no one won it who I saw, which is mad. I don't know what you would have won. It would have been quite cool though. I
Were you
watched
with any friends?
yeah, everyone like loads of UK people. Josiah was there. Other people like
Josiah.
you would know.
Nice. I just like to hear if Josiah's around.
Josiah was around.
That's who brings me joy.
Yeah, he was very happy after Superman as well, which got me happy to hear. Very happy.
That's my joy.
I watched
joy.
Tyler. I watched another Kelly Reichardt. I watched like Certain Women with Lily Gladstone, Michelle Williams, Kristen Stewart, and Laura Dern. It's amazing. I don't know if you've watched that one. You should definitely watch it. It's probably my favorite of the two. Even though I give them both a 4.5, I would definitely watch that one. It's truly incredible. And then watched the Apocalypse Now filming documentary again because I felt like it. And then I think I'm gonna watch Philosopher of the Stone later. I'm feeling like some of the OG stuff.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of it. That's kind of it for me this week. Other than that, yeah, nothing.
Oh yeah.
Nothing.
For myself, I had a pretty easy week at work. I took Thursday off. It was my anniversary, but really we didn't do anything for our anniversary. And I didn't even have time to thank you. I didn't even have time to throw up like an Instagram post or anything. We were working literally till 1 a.m. on the backyard getting the patio ready.
Nice patio. Nice work.
Thank you. I was, very happy with how it turned out. Got like posts in, covered it up. Did a little hibachi night last night as I texted you all.
Hibachi? Am I being stupid?
Hibachi's like it's like where they cook the food in front of you, like it.
Oh yeah. Like I've been to like Korean places to do that and stuff like that.
Yeah. There you go. So we did that on the Blackstone. I did the little fire train and lit the. We put a like awning across the top, like to get some shade. Lit that on fire, so that thing has to be thrown out and rebought. So that's always fun. Got a big ass hole in our shade awning. But that is just. I'll send you.
The fire is really that tall.
Yeah, I'll send you
high
guys
was
the
that
video.
shit? How high was that shit?
It was probably like 7 feet up, and then the
7 feet
table itself is like 3.5 feet, 4 feet, probably. 4 feet. So. Yeah, it's like a 3 foot tall fire. I'll send you all the video.
I liked the videos, the things that people were putting on their stories of you.
Yeah, I was chefing it up. Emma and I like really enjoy hosting, and it feels like, I've talked about my house for the last year now on this podcast. It's been kind of just a hellish experience, and it's been a big reason that sometimes I have to take like month-long mental health breaks from this podcast, unfortunately. So whenever I disappear for like a month, it's probably because some sort of hell went on with our house. And so it was very nice that it's like semi coming together now, and like the backyard's coming together a little bit so we can do fun things like that. So we were very excited about it. I like to get into it and tell some jokes and stuff like that. You know how I be. That was a lot of fun. That's really like that's kind of my week right there, was honestly prepping for that. I said last week I was building the patio, did that throughout the week, and then also got the rest of the house kind of put back together a little bit. So we had like 20 people there. It was very fun. Other than that, pretty smooth week. Went and saw Superman on Tuesday. Was just a joyous experience. We'll talk that shortly. What did I watch this week? I watched I watched 7 Superman movies in 2 days.
Been slopping.
I just kind of grinded through those. Mind you, they were all rewatches except Superman Returns. I had never seen.
Did you see the animated ones as well? I haven't seen any of them.
I mean, I've seen them all
But not
probably not them all. I've seen a decent amount, but not for this week now. This week was a live action rewatch. But I kind of got I got DC pilled a little bit after, and I'm like, man, I got to rewatch them all. Yeah. Again, you know how I be.
You do be.
Slop.
Yeah, you do be.
Just watching slop, So yeah, I rewatched all of those. Then went and saw Superman, and like I finished Man of Steel like right before my Superman showing, and I tweeted it, but it just always makes me feel like Thanos resting on a grateful universe, like just sitting and being like I did it. So yeah, I finished those. And then I watched a couple Transformers. Transformers 1, Revenge of the Fallen, and Dark of the Moon.
This fucking guy.
Slop
Yeah,
master.
Can't
Of
stop
course.
himself.
I don't think
Your
I watched
TikTok
any
did numbers. I
nonstop.
saw that. Your Transformers.
Oh, the quotes one? Yeah.
The quotes one, yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
People
Almost
love this
posted like 6
Transformers.
more of those, but I was like, yeah, that one did do numbers. That was just those first 3 are so fucking funny, man.
People
They're
do
so
like
stupid.
look.
They're so
I remember I
good.
literally posted a video of like the best Sam Witwicky screams, and people love
People love it. Yeah,
that
it's hilarious.
so
Dude.
much.
He's just yelling throughout that whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched anything outside of Superman and Transformers, really. So yeah, that's my week. Now we will get into Superman. I'm very excited. If I get a little heated, just know it's about love and friendship and the fact that you're all dumbasses. Except
Wow. I mean, Tyler's right there. He's not.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk Superman. We'll do general thoughts, and then we'll get into more spoilers, obviously, as we normally do. I guess we'll start. We'll go same order as what have we been watching. So we'll start George, Tyler, Seth. Give your general thoughts.
Do you not want to do George, Tyler?
Nope.
And then you?
Nope. I already made the decree.
No quality equal.
I already made the decree. It's George, Tyler, Seth.
Fair.
Oh Jesus.
We're going an ebbs and flows thing.
Okay, interesting.
Film. Talk about a film that social media has turned me off from wanting to talk about.
You're such a lame-o, man. Just
No.
be happy.
I am happy.
People are big, to be
am
fair to
happy.
George.
Oh,
Bro,
Here.
people are
fucking
great. James Gunn
God,
fans
dude.
are as bad as Snyder fans. That is
No,
fact.
that's a
now.
crazy take.
No, no,
That's
no.
not a crazy. It's a totally
No.
normal take.
No.
brother.
My tweet,
Normal.
I had so
You
many.
guys.
No,
Sorry. I needed to level everyone.
Listen. I want to talk about this movie. I think, regardless
No,
of my
you
thoughts,
don't.
no, I
You
do.
fucking hate this shit,
It's
man. You don't
I
want to talk
don't
about
hate this
shit.
movie at all. Listen to me. Regardless,
This guy
of my
hates
thoughts,
fun. He
Oh
hates
my
joy. He hates hope. This guy wants the world to die. Look at the background. Murder, murder man. Murder man. Superman killer. All right. I will let you.
Holy shit. Listen. I've been saying this regardless of my thoughts of this movie. It's an exciting movie to talk about. Okay. It really it's the new Superman. Like, obviously I'm excited to talk about it. Okay. But holy fucking shit, dude. People always are like DMing me. Friends are always asking me. Even Victoria brings it all the time, where she's like, yo, why don't you tweet anymore? Why aren't you posting on TikTok as much as you used to? This movie and the reception that like my letterbox.
People are crazy. Don't get me wrong.
This is
You're not
why.
wrong.
This is
You're not
the
wrong.
prime example of why I have actively been trying to remove myself from the film community as best as I can. I saw this movie on Monday, early screening. Shout out to whoever invited me. I actually don't know who invited me. Shout out. I saw it early. Took Victoria.
What do you mean?
I have completely forgot who invited me to that early screen. I don't know. But not person, like studio. I just forgot who the invite came from. No. The invite was to me. But I just but I saw this movie on Monday. Okay. Disappointed. I was sad. Asked Victoria. I literally was visibly sad. Like, I was like, damn, like, I can't believe I don't love that. I write this nice, long, very long thoughtful,
Biblical.
I think the
That was a
funniest-
long-ass review.
respectful letterbox review. Okay.
I think the funniest this week was Mateo. If you
Yeah,
don't know, you should
in the
know.
group chat.
Mateo's our producer. He posts all the clips. Mateo texts our group chat and is like, "George, you need to explain this." And George is
It's
like,
like, bro.
"I did in the review."
This guy wrote a fucking essay for
It was
bro.
an essay
I
of a
wrote
review.
a
That was funny.
novel, okay? I wrote a
That was
novel
so
about
funny.
what I didn't like about the movie. And let me make it clear, mind you, neutral review, even on first watch.
With a heart, bear in mind. Neutral with a heart.
Two and a
with a
half
heart.
with a heart.
Hearts don't
It doesn't
mean
get
anything.
it doesn't get more neutral than that, okay? I post that review. You guys saw it. Within fucking 3 hours, I had 200 plus comments, all negative,
Yeah.
all from people that had not
Yeah.
seen the film. Every single one of them acting like I just committed a war crime. Okay. It was this guy fell off. George never knows what he's talking about anymore. Oh my God. You know, my personal favorite, this guy just hates everything now. This guy can't have fun anymore. And it's like, oh my God. As if
I
my
do
letterbox-
feel bad for you, but it's very funny how angry
but
people
you know,
get.
it's funny, but we talk about this too. There are letterbox
Yeah.
users with 100,000 plus followers that don't
Yeah.
sniff this type of, like, why me? Why
Yeah.
am I
350 comments.
That's
Why
crazy.
am I on the receiving end of this? Okay. I guess it's a good thing. People care that much about my opinion that
Somebody-
even if I'm wrong, they want to fight back. But like, dude, there are users on Letterboxd, 100,000 plus followers that literally could not sniff this type of engagement. It's absolutely unfucking believable. Okay. People, I think the most annoying thing, I'm sorry, I know I should be reviewing the movie right now, but now I'm just gonna go on a rant. I think the most annoying fucking thing about this is that people are like, oh, this dude went into this movie wanting to dislike it or expecting to dislike it, as if I haven't posted so many videos over the last year calling this my second most anticipated movie of the year. It was always behind Mission Impossible, and Sinners was always 3. Those were always my top 3. Okay. And as if I didn't, I mean, you guys, the only person that could really clarify this is Sophie. But every time that fucking trailer showed up on my screen, my face lit up. The smile ran from ear to ear. And every time it showed up, I'd look over, I'd tap Sophie. I'm like, so excited for that. That looks so fucking good. But people are just so quick to just be like, oh my God, let me judge this person's let me criticize the way this dude engages with film because he didn't like this one particular movie, as if I haven't liked or even loved so many films from this year already. I don't go into films expecting to dislike them. Why would I do that? Mission Impossible, loved. Sinners, loved. Ballerina, loved. F1, loved. I'm missing something. 28 Years Later, loved. Fucking Den of Thieves, I loved. Like, I've loved so many movies this year, but you drop one neutral review and people are like, oh, this dude hates fun. This dude can never like any movies ever. Why does he always hate movies? And it's absolutely unbelievable. Oh my, George, you used to love these movies. What happened to my washed king? What, like, oh my fucking God. And look, like, the annoying part is, sorry, I just moved my desk. The annoying part is, let me tell you something. We started social media, 5-6 years ago when we were 22. I was 22, 23.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't say that
28
early.
now. Okay. I'm 28. I'm 6 years older than where I was when I
That's me.
started social media. And people are still expecting that young, dumb, immature dude that strictly watched the MCU. 6 years later, shit has happened in 6 years. A lot of nonsense has happened in 6 years. My overall outlook on life has changed, which has changed my outlook on film, which has changed the way I engage with film, which has changed my overall level of cynicism. And people just cannot fathom the fact that this dude who loved the MCU when he was 22 doesn't love these superhero lighthearted films 6 years. People just cannot fathom the fact that you can evolve in film over time. And listen, if you're listening to this and you have the same opinions that you had in film 6 years ago, you're the problem. I'm not the problem. Okay? Okay? You are the fucking problem. Okay?
Can I give you a
Funniest
stat,
possible
George?
follow up to this would be a fantastic 4 or 5 stars from George.
This is
Yes.
fucking generational.
That'd be the best way to
this
follow
is
this up.
this is the funniest thing ever because George has
Oh
not
my
has not started reviewing the movie yet. That's why I couldn't stop
This
laughing.
is
during that.
generational.
You're not
Yeah.
wrong because I went through the letterbox like most popular reviews on Superman just to simply see if anything.
Am I up there?
Well, yeah, of course you are. David Ehrlich. How do you pronounce his last name?
It doesn't matter. He gets no engagement. He's a
You
boring
can't comment on his
critic.
He has
reviews.
150. No, he has 186,000 followers on Letterboxd. He gave a 2.5 as similar long review as you. Not a single
You
reply.
can't comment on any of his
Not a
reviews.
single.
No.
You can't comment on
Yes,
it.
You
comments
can't
are-
comment. None of his reviews.
Oh,
have-
okay,
yeah.
that's lame then.
No, but you're
Fuck
not
you,
wrong, though. Like,
David.
people with
No, I agree, but like with
Cinema
him, it's like
Joe,
you
it's
can't.
just-
Okay,
These are
that,
there.
that makes
Like,
me.
no-
I thought it was not a single reply. Sydney, she has a little bit less
I
followers.
only have
than you,
40, to be
33,000. She
I
has
only have 40.
33,000 followers.
Listen,
Gave a
the thing
2.5.
that sucks-
89 replies. You got 351 replies. George is the bad boy of movie.
No, it's unbelievable. And the thing that sucks is that like I understand, like I get it. When everyone was introduced to me, I was,
Talking.
you know,
Did he just freeze? Did everyone?
No, you.
am I freezing or is
No,
Cam?
no,
I think
no.
Cam's freezing.
I froze. That's
No,
on
but
me.
what
I
I was
apologize.
saying is I get it. I get the reception I'm getting because everyone's introduction to me 5-6 years ago was this loud, obnoxious, dumb, immature dude that called Infinity War and Civil War probably the 2 best superhero movies of all time. Those are
'Cause
the
they
only
are.
movies I
Not Civil
watched.
War.
They're the only movies I talked about. And now it's 6 years on, and it's like, okay, I get it. Like I'm not the person that you were once introduced to. Fine. Why are you who am I? Why are you commenting on my letterbox? I'm literally nobody. But what sucks, this is what sucks, is that this goes so beyond like Superman and like the engagement of comic book movies. And I'm sorry, I will get to the movie in a sec, but like I swear to God,
I
ever since
appreciate this.
dropped
It's good. It's great.
been like my mind's been like I've held off so much on just like posting a fucking rant on TikTok. So I'm going to use this as my opportunity. Social media, like the way film discourse on social media is dead. It's absolutely dead. And again, this is not directly to Superman. This is just directly to just the overall like state of film criticism and film discourse on social media. People love proving their fucking intelligence through film. People love proving that they're smart or intelligent through film, and it's absolutely unbelievable. I love Letterboxd. I do. I really do love Letterboxd. I think Letterboxd has massively contributed to the decline of film discourse over time. And I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry if you are a team member of Letterboxd listening to this. It's not just Letterboxd. It's Letterboxd. It's film Twitter. It's film TikTok.
Social media. It's social media.
It's just social media. Right.
It's every social media. Like sports people all want to be smarter than the next person. Like it's social media.
Annoying. And these used to be fun places. These used to be fun places for people to go talk about film, engage with like-minded people the way, you and I and the 4 of us did initially before we started this podcast. It used to be a place to open fun, engaging conversation. Now it has evolved into, I'm just here to prove I know more than you, or I'm just here to prove that I've seen more than you, which creates this obnoxiously alienating and toxic community of assholes and pretentious, condescending, privileged fucks. Okay. And we know some of those people. We're friends with some of those people. It's fine. But when you open a Superman review, why are there 350 fucking comments? Everyone telling me I'm wrong. Everyone telling me I'm stupid. Everyone telling me
it is even funnier that it was Monday, even before like the early
Before it even fucking came out, no one had seen it. Like,
Yeah,
that
that's awesome.
I saw the movie Monday, dropped that review Tuesday. Like I said, within 2 hours, I had 200 comments. 199 of them were from people that hadn't seen the movie because Alex commented, so he's the one. Okay.
That's funny.
But oh my God, it's so unbelievable that the state of film discourse on social media is so agonizing. And what's funny is that I don't think it's changed. Like, I think this is the same film discourse that was present when we started social media back in 2020, 2021. Okay. I just think I'm getting older. I'm getting more cynical. I'm absolutely losing my patience, and I don't care to engage with any of this. Like, 21-year-old George would have loved to clap back at every single comment. 21-year-old George would have loved to post a negative Superman review on TikTok and then fucking reply with a video to every single comment. Okay.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. And we've texted this before. 28-year-old George would fucking hate.
You're a grump.
3-year-old George.
He's a grump.
It's so unbelievable, dude. This is literally this Superman. And this is not directed at Superman. This is directed to the people engaging with Superman on Letterboxd. This is the reason why I'm trying to actively remove myself from the film community on social media completely. Okay? Completely. Like, it's so.
You can't leave the pod, though.
I can't. I'll never leave the pod. But
we need our bad boy of movie talk.
I will never leave the pod. But there are times where I absolutely do question if, like, my love of film is worth all of this nonsense. And there are even more times where I wonder how much longer I truly have on social media. Like, why does my Superman review have 350 that is so
people love you. People care about you.
Absolutely blasphemous, dude. That's such nonsense.
Be very glad you didn't post a TikTok review. I'll say that as well, because
I even Victoria was like, you have to.
Oh, you didn't?
So much.
I didn't honestly look, but I didn't know.
Mine have been horrible, and mine wasn't like yours have been worse, and mine have been bad.
I think my last 4 videos have been tennis related, and for the foreseeable future, it'll be all tennis. But yeah, fuck this, man. It's so exhausting, and it's not just Superman. Unfortunately, it's like everything. You can go back to Thunderbolts review, Deadpool and Wolverine review, fucking the Substance
well, it's because
review.
Thunderbolts is good.
Thunderbolts is not good, dude. I'm just not 21 years old anymore.
It's great.
Superman's fine though. Superman is fine. I was definitely.
Yeah, what do you think of Superman?
All right, wait. Let's hit a quick pause.
Hit timeout.
Let's hit a quick pause. I think we're gonna move on from George. I think we'll come back to him. I think we're gonna check your timestamps.
Get him now. Get him now.
We're gonna call that George Rant. We're gonna move on to Tyler. We'll start the Superman review here. And frankly, I'm just gonna say it now, George. I'm gonna yell at you during this review.
That's fine.
But I'm allowed to. So fuck
Cam,
you all.
I love you, bro. And guess what?
I love
You've seen the movie. You're allowed to yell at me.
Heck yeah. All right, Tyler.
I didn't mean to.
Take us away. No, that was amazing. I loved it.
Generational.
Take a breath.
Generational.
Take a breath. Take some water in. Tyler,
take a
give your
chill
thoughts
man.
on Superman. Let's start on a high now.
Seth, you wanted to go after George. Now this is better. How am I supposed to follow that up? Like,
I wouldn't be able to do it. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, so I don't have any ranting material to give, but we'll just review the movie. We'll shut up and dribble, as they say. Superman.
Dance.
This is a movie that, similar to how I disliked F1, but I can totally see why people love it. This is a movie that I love, and I can, like, every negative critique I've read of this, like, I totally can completely see why people wouldn't like it. Although a lot of people that have seen it that I expected to dislike it are liking it, and I'm like really shocked by that. Both in terms of social media and just like actual critics that I like to follow as well. But yeah, so Superman, I think this movie is really overstuffed, and I think it is messy at times. And I think there's so much trying to be packed in here, which some of it's intentional. James Gunn clearly wanted this to be like, it's obviously the movie that is to kick off his new universe, but it's not supposed to be like the origin of the universe. This city is supposed to be very aware of heroes living in it and operating in it. This isn't an origin story for anyone. So it's intentionally supposed to kind of throw you in. You're like, holy shit, so much is going on. But at the same time, like this movie had so much stakes riding on it. Everyone knew this movie was like maybe one of the most consequential movies to come out in, I don't even know.
Yeah, a while.
Since Iron Man, I don't even know. Like, because this is supposed to be the bread and butter that's supposed to kick off an entire
with that central
franchise.
character that's so fucking bigger than
Superman's
life.
got to be a hit.
Yeah.
And the Snyder verse just ultimately ended up failing for many reasons. Like a lot of the reasons people argue about are not really the reasons. I think a lot of it is DC and Warner Brothers' fault for how they were managing things. A lot of it is just unfortunate timing for events that happened in Zack Snyder's life, that life happens and it kind of derails things. Like there's a lot of things that caused the Snyderverse to go the way it went. But at the end of the day, those movies were successful financially at the beginning, and it started to trail off a bit towards the end with like, you know, the Shazam 2s of the world and Black Adams of the world, which still did fine, but like they weren't billion plus like, you know, Batman vs Superman was.
Yeah.
So there's so much stakes riding on this movie, and he needed it to be a success. And honestly, the discourse has been like dreadful leading up to the movie, and even after the movie, people loving it, people disliking it. But I'm surprised that the overall reaction, I think, is generally better than I expected in terms of both the box office and the reception. Like, you know, really everything you look at, like Metacritic, Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd, like general reaction on social media, I think it's just trending more positive than I was kind of expecting. And I was tweeting before this came out that I was like weirdly excited for this, which anyone listening to this knows I've been like very out on comic book movies as of a while, and I wasn't really moved by any of the trailers for this. And I ended up just like leaving this film with so much hope and like optimism. And similar to what I talked about in my What Have We Been Watching segment with like Super and his early works, like James Gunn just like clearly loves comic books and comic book movies. And I think regardless of if you love this film or not, I think it's hard to deny that he clearly loves comics and understands comics and like is someone who's a true fan of comics. It isn't just realizing comic book movies are where you can cash your paycheck. So that's where the wind is blowing him. This is clearly like a guy that if he could wave his magic wand and make movies about anything in his life, it would be about comic book movies, even if these were making, you know, box office losers and no one cared about them. But I think this is a really ambitious film, sometimes too ambitious. I think it's hard to deny that he was super bold in this movie, like so bold to the point where I couldn't believe a lot of things I was seeing. A lot of choices he made were very impressive, and I didn't expect it from him. Like, when have we seen ever a blockbuster of this scale take a political stance as strong as this in a movie? Like, it's one of those things, like I've seen so many tweets now where like so many people have been like, everyone's saying this is like very on the nose about like the Israeli-Palestinian, you know, genocide going on, but I'll believe it when I see it. Then people like walk out of it after, they're like, holy shit, like, no, that's like, there's no way you can watch it and not interpret it as that.
Have you seen the tweets that are like, it wasn't political at all? And
yeah, but that's just the same people who will say
those are just grifters looking for.
Those
like
are my favorite.
Those people are the same people who say like
this person's an idiot. It's
like
awesome.
Any film ever like isn't political.
Yeah.
Films don't have to be political when in reality everything is political.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like the thing is like generational free press from this movie that like the day before it releases, like Fox News is running full segments,
super woke,
like literally something you'd see in like a spoof movie where they're like, oh, this is like super woke. And
it is crazy. It has like captured the culture, hasn't it? Whether bad or good, like it's.
I mean, that's just the impact of Superman. He's just like that guy as a character. Sure. But again, just to wrap up my like spoiler-free thoughts, I think this movie filled me with so much hope for the future of this universe. Even though so much of it, like on rewatch, like I'm not gonna lie, like there's a strong chance this could go down for me on rewatch, like a 3.5. But we'll see, because I just like. I left the theater being like, yeah, there's a lot of there that just didn't work for me. I think a lot of scenes looked very ugly. Some of the scenes, though, like I don't think it was uniformly ugly. Some of the scenes I thought were really gorgeous. But I left the theater like being like, yeah, there's like a lot I could nitpick about this. And there's like several storylines and several like long sequences where I was like, this isn't working for me. But I was just like filled with so much joy at the end of this. I just felt so happy. Like David Cornsweet is such a home run. The whole cast is such a home run. Like James Gunn mentioned, he has his crew, and his crew just keeps delivering. It's like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, keep using these people who are just able to just step into these roles. And Rachel Brosnahan's great as well. It's her birthday today when we're recording this. Happy birthday, Rachel Brosnahan.
Happy birthday.
But even like Jimmy Olsen, like it was just
all of their birthdays fall within the week of release.
Really?
Isabella Merced's was the 11th, if I'm not mistaken. Or the 10th, maybe.
Yeah, like all of their birthdays fall within. Like
David Cornsweet's, was like yesterday. Yeah, they have like very close birthdays.
That's crazy.
Wonder if he He probably cast it on that. He's like, all right, everyone's got to have their birthday on release.
Around the release week.
But yeah, I'll leave it there. I think it's a very bold film from James Gunn. He went directions I wasn't expecting him to go, and I mean, so much stakes was riding on this film, and I think he pulled it off pretty much as best as he could, and complete 180 pivot from the Snyder era, and just in terms of not even Snyder, just like comic movies in general. Like James Gunn's clearly very cynical of where comic book movies have gone, and the tone that both Marvel is going, as well as like the whole like uber realism, uber grittiness, and he really returned us to like the comic panels being translated with hope and joy and optimism. So yeah, I'm super min. I give it a 4-star. Big fan.
Yeah, to the point that like, sorry, go.
Come on, man.
The point that like, as you were saying, Tyler, just back off your point of how different this film is than Snyder's. Like, they're not even comparable in any way. They're completely different focuses. Yes, they're both Superman films, but people got to chill. You know, people are allowed to like whatever they want. I liked it less than you, but there are some positives I took away from Superman. I actually, when I picture Superman, I said this in my review. Obviously, I haven't read the comics, so I might be completely out of whack with this. I picture the universe in which James Gunn places him in terms of this very like quirky, ridiculous environment that is kind of full of classic, fundamental James Gunn ambiance and laughs and characters who benefit so greatly from their comedic elements as well, which I found from this. I will say, like, again, this isn't really, it's criticism, but it's not too much. I mean, James Gunn, I think we all can agree he excels a lot in his comedy. This one, not so much for me. I don't actually think his scripts were that great in this one outside of, I liked Guy Gardner a lot, Nathan Fillion, who played Guy Gardner. I really enjoyed him, actually, quite a bit. More than I was expecting, because obviously my experience with him as a character is just very minimal, so I didn't really know what to expect going in. His hair, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's just a cool addition. I like that a lot. And as Tyler said, like before I go into some negatives, I love Derek Hornswell like a lot. I think he's great. Could be like up there as the greatest looking man in the world right now. He is so.
Dude, his GQ pictures had me swooning a little bit. I was
like had me almost wanted to switch sides.
Good looking fella.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That's a good looking.
He
fella.
is. And Rachel Brosnahan, I really liked as Lois as well. I think she's brilliant. And even like just the little people as well, like little people, like the side cast. I think like, what was his game? The name the guy who played Mr. Terrific. I can't remember his name. He was in
Edie Gathegi.
Yes, I like him a lot as well. I mentioned him in my review.
What was he in? Why did he look?
He's
familiar?
in
the guy who couldn't die in X-Men First Class.
Yes,
he is in X-Men First Class.
Yes, and he died. Yes.
Yeah.
He's also in Twilight.
He killed the unkillable
I didn't
character.
Yeah, right.
Liked him as well. Again, Mr. Terrific's just not a character I know. And then again, we'll probably speak guys, but Nicholas Hoult also just really, really cool. It's Nicholas Hoult, so so granted. And I like Lex Luthor as a character as well. Didn't particularly like Jesse Eisenberg's rendition, but I think many people did. It was kind of weird. Nicholas Hoult for me was great. I think that I like how we kind of move back to this kind of, again, like I said, how I see Superman is like this real just beacon of hope, as everyone says, and like this, like him being an alien and bedding in with kind of humanity and people accepting that around him. And I know, again, this is kind of counterintuitive because we don't want to repeat of previous films. I do wish we got a slight bit more of him with Ma and Pa, because I like those sequences. Okay, that was like cool sequence. And I think that's where I like, again, I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying like the Man of Steel, I like that just because I like the relationship with them. And I like how they kind of bed him in and have them from a young,
Did you watch Man of Steel recently?
No, not for like whenever I first watched, like 2 years ago.
Pa tells him he should kill people.
Yeah, but
he doesn't say he should kill people. He's like,
I just like
that is a very much like anti-Snyder comment. He says maybe
what
you shouldn't have saved
die.
Maybe you should have saved them.
Mark says, "What was I supposed to do? Let them die?" And he says, "Maybe."
Okay, I'll say this then.
Crazy.
I like
crazy for sure.
Snyder had a lot of great ideas and then a couple questionable ones. That's a questionable one.
I'll say this then. I like the more frequent appearances of them.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That understandable.
It's tough with this one because I do think, and I'll be honest, I think a bit of it, and I said this in my review, is reminiscent of The Flash. that's massive derogatory
Yeah,
statement.
I think that's a crazy.
I think a lot of this film is ugly. I'm sorry, Cam, but I also think like simultaneously, 5 minutes will go by, and I'll be like, that is so comic book brought to life. I think this all is, and again, it's one of those things where I mentioned this when I did it on TikTok as well. I think as an aesthetic, it's not very nice. A lot of it, I think it almost looks too artificial to a certain point. But in the same sentence, I get it. I don't understand it, and I get the route James Gunn and co and team were tackling. But there is like a couple of sequences which I really hated visually, so I won't mention them now because we'll get into that. But then there was also some really, really cool sequences as well, and I think it's difficult to manage that. Music, I liked a lot. I think the music's great. I also love Crypto, the dog.
Crypto.
Love the dog. Again, James Gunn. People don't like his animal usage. Hey, I like his animal usage. I like dogs. Hot take.
Yeah, I don't know why that's like a.
I mean, I think it's like
you guys.
I was waiting for you. You carry.
Okay. Well, no, I just feel like James Gunn gets a lot of flack for like uses animals to
emotionally manipulate. That's the thing.
Yeah, emotionally manipulate. Perfect words. People, but in this, Crypto like doesn't have any like.
He did have a little yelp that made me feel bad, but that would happen with any
smallest yelp. Yeah, I understand Guardians 3, sure, no doubt there, but like this and Guardians are like the only movie.
Yeah,
like,
it didn't.
Tell me, does it happen in Slither, Tyler? Like, does he have a crazy?
There's rats in Suicide Squad.
There's rats and there's rats in Suicide Squad. Okay, but rats are gross.
I get it with. Yeah, I get it with Guardians 3, which obviously we all really liked and it didn't bother me, but I get the argument. In this, I'm like, not really. I like how it's kind of we're obviously built up like it being episodic as well. I like the little moments, for example, when Superman like saves a squirrel. Oh, there's a squirrel mentioned. And the bit we saw in the trailer as well. And and Cam, you tweeted about this, I think. And shout out my boy Sammy. We love Sammy. However, I'm going to disagree with one of his tweets right now. I think that, and again, this isn't a criticism on the film because I think context is key with trailers.
It's the marketing.
Precisely. Like we spoke about Jurassic World Rebirth with the D-Rex. I get it. Like they're going to put it in there. Like with Superman, they're always going to put him using, and like I say, the lasers. Like it's always going to be in the trailers because that's one thing people love about him. But that sequence, again, context is key. It was obviously better in the film. And it was a scene that I really liked, and we'll get onto that. But I think with moments like that, I did catch myself thinking, man, I wish this was the first reaction right now. The teeth sequence and the spin and stuff.
I think on that, like you said, Sammy said it shouldn't be a criticism for the film. I agree with that. It shouldn't be a criticism for the film. But I do think they showed way too much in the marketing. Now, as I mentioned, like in my review, I watched every clip and every trailer and every TV spot multiple times. That's on me, no doubt. I went with a friend. He had seen the first trailer and that's it. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it was awesome." Like he that's all he watched, and he didn't obviously know what was coming. My thought is you make the trailers for the general audience as well as, and then also for your diehard fans. So you give the first act, the second act in the trailer, and then the third act I think should be kept out of the trailer for the most part. That's kind of my
maybe I don't disagree.
Again, it's like it's definitely a marketing pull, and especially I think for this movie specifically, they needed it to do well. They needed to put as much stuff out into the world as possible to get people intrigued. And we'll talk it, but like this. I mean, a lot of the trailers and clips were of this entire movie.
And I imagine with Fantastic Four, we'll be having that same conversation.
I actually disagree with that. I think Marvel does a much better job because Marvel, I think, has the money. I think we've in Marvel, I think we haven't seen anything really from like the third act. I think because we haven't truly like seen Galactus fully yet, and I think everything that we have seen is just like his intro. So that's why I think Marvel has the good grace of the like they're gonna make money either way. They don't have to show the third act.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, maybe I don't disagree with Sammy then because obviously his point was different. But I think that on a selfish basis, like that was probably one of my favorite sequences in the film, and I would have loved to like just be left to the imagination as to what's to come. Final couple of things. I love the way Superman like kind of explores his vulnerability. Again, we all understand Superman and these scales of his power and his immortality and stuff, but I like when he is depicted as a human. That's kind of my favorite part about him, and I think that's why I love the original film. I'm more positive than negative. It definitely was a disappointment because I, like all of us here, was actually excited and even more excited from the recent trailer as well. I think it's an enjoyable work at its core, but not much more than that, and pretty thin for me. But we'll get on to like spoilers, and then I'll chat a bit more then.
Yep, we'll go to George now. Give your unfiltered.
Have you had a glass of water, George?
Yeah. He's gave his throat a break, gave his breath a break. Just true thoughts.
Yeah. Anyways, where was I? Social media. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm happy. One, that I rewatched the movie because I was a bit higher on it on rewatch. You know what I think my problem was? I think I went in expecting the tone and the vibes of a Guardians 3 or like a Suicide Squad, which is like obviously like a little on the darker side, a little on like the more like mature side. It's like not as colorful, except Guardians does have its moments.
I don't know where you got that thought though.
I don't know.
That's what I'm confused by.
I'm an idiot, Cam. I don't know what you're going to say. Like, I'm a fucking moron. I don't know what you want me to tell you. It's a James Gunn project, and the last 5 James Gunn movies have had the exact same aesthetic. So I think I was like, okay, regardless of what the trailers are showing me, it's still a James Gunn project. And that's, I think, just what I went in expecting. And I obviously not, but that's not the only reason I dislike the movie.
No, that's fine.
But also, let me reword that. I like the movie. Okay, still neutral on the movie. I gave it that 3-star rating because I do think I had a better time with it on rewatch. Everyone seems to be loving like the Sunday morning cartoon vibes that does have very like classic 60s, 70s Superman charm. It's just not something that worked for me. And I think it was a little too in my face. It was a little too whimsical for its own good at times. I think Tyler said it. This movie moves so fast. It's so bloated.
I saw someone critique it saying it drags in moments. I was like, what movie were you watching?
Yeah, I know who that was. It was Hat Guy. Hat Guy.
What,
I don't think it was Hat Guy.
It was. Well, he said it. He said that his only criticism was that it drags.
Maybe he did as well. I don't know if I saw that, but
yeah.
This movie said it. There we go.
This movie moves a mile a minute. It gives you no time to breathe. And then one of my biggest criticisms on first watch, which is something I was really focused on second watch because I was curious if this thought would like stay true, and it did. I think this movie's out of order, if that makes sense. Like, I genuinely don't think this movie is in the correct order. Like,
as in like literal,
like literally, I think scenes are cut incorrectly. And I don't know how to explain it, but I genuinely, I think this movie moves so fast and it moves tonally so much that it genuinely feels like it's out of order. And I don't know if that makes sense, but even some of my friends that I saw it with on second watch were like, why did that film feel so jumbled? And it just revalidated my thoughts on first watch. And I was like, yes, I agree. Like, this movie does not feel like it's cut together.
It feels episodic. Properly. It feels like a TV show almost.
It does feel like a TV show. You go from the Luthor, the scene where he takes Crypto. Then you have the very slow scene with
to it too much.
Sorry.
Into it too much.
George, you love doing this. This is George.
Sorry, I do love doing this. Sorry. Okay, okay. They released a clip of that.
Yes, they released the clip. That's why I paused.
Okay. That's why we stopped you there.
Pause there. Okay, and then we'll get back to it. Yeah.
Fine. Okay, fine. But yes, this movie it's cut very oddly, and I think a big part of that is because it moves so fast that the tone is just rising and falling and changing so quickly. It's unbelievable. Maybe I don't love the character of Superman as much as I thought. Maybe that's why I really love this version of the Man of Steel, because it's not Superman. It's a very different version of Superman, and I think I'm more attracted to it. Regardless, I went in obviously with an open mind. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is a Snyder meat rider." He went in wanting to dislike this movie. Not the case.
Even I got those comments, by the way. So
you get those comments left and right. In fairness,
me watching and logging Man of Steel the next day.
Yeah,
That was
funny.
one of the
quite
best
funny.
things you've ever done, by the
That
way.
was a
pretty funny.
really bad move, but
No, that was a great
it was
move.
a
pretty funny.
funny troll. But
How
yeah,
many
maybe
comments did you
Did
get?
you actually watch it that day?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I thought you
No, I
the
did.
first
That
that
was
you
fun.
actually did that would be
I
fucking
did
crazy.
actually watch it that
Okay,
day.
fair.
But yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe I just don't love the character of Superman as much as I thought I did. You know, I love Batman. He's dark. He's grimy. Maybe I just don't love the character of Superman. And this is classic
But he
Superman.
doesn't have a gun.
I'm not
Well, he's not
taking-
killing people.
Yo,
Crazy.
chill. But yeah, like, I don't know. I liked it. I had a good time. I was smiling. I was laughing. I don't think it's as joyous as people want it to. There are some moments that I think can be a little cringe and a little too corny for its own good. You know, I think it's an important movie in that it opens up these discussions of the immigrant experience. It's very like it's taking a stance in like the Israel and Palestine conflict, which, like Tyler said, that's a big deal nowadays with these big blockbusters. And it's a very easily applaudable movie because of that. And it's something I could absolutely respect James Gunn for just straight up putting in his movie. I think it's a little too elementary. Like I know it's Superman, and I know Superman's whole aesthetic is like, I want to be there for children. I want children to look up to me and not be scared of me. I want them to find joy in me and comfort in me. So I get that the writing of this movie is probably elementary for that very particular reason. I just don't think it like necessarily works for me.
I
then-
kind of agree, to be honest.
And then like, I think Sydney was the one that tweeted about it. Like, just give me you can redo origin stories all you want.
No,
I think it depends for me.
I am such a sucker for an origin story. It's
Oh,
and
man.
I am a
no,
Mrs. Spider-Man.
I promise you that did not go into my rating.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I just think it's a bad take either way.
Yeah, that's not a criticism, but you enter this world of Superman, and like the opening title card reads, like it's 3 years. You're 3 years into the Man of Steel presenting himself to the world, being like, I'm here. The world that we are watching in this movie does not feel like it has known Superman for 3 years. Superman doesn't feel, Clark Kent doesn't feel like he's built a life in this universe for 3 years. And a big part of that, and this is something that really bothered me, Superman is in the planet once. He's in the Daily Planet once, and that really, really bothers me. And
that is true. Actually, I didn't think about that.
And hold on. I'm not done, Ken. What?
No. Slight spoilers.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair.
I'm just
That's fine.
Stop talking plot
Yeah.
points. Give it to me for 10 seconds, and then we can talk plot points. I
All
don't
right, go.
disagree with you. I'm just trying to say stop with spoilers.
Fine. I don't think that's a spoiler. That's just a.
It is.
It is.
All right. Well, then my next comment was, I guess, going to be a slight spoiler, so I won't say that either. But
Thank you. That's all I'm
yeah.
asking.
I don't think this world feels lived in. I don't feel like this world was built properly to support a massive character like Superman. And that's you guys know how much I love world building. You know how much I love to be immersed in whatever environment our characters are in. This didn't feel like Metropolis. It didn't feel like Superman's home. It didn't feel like the world, like the light. It did not feel like Clark and Lois / Superman have built a life in this world over the last 3 years. And I know they only said like, oh, we went on our first date 3 months ago, so it hasn't been a long time of Clark and Lois, but still, it does not feel like this has been the world that Clark Kent has been living in for the last 3 years. And I
suppose 3 years, like culturally, isn't that long, you know, when you consider
I know,
it. You know?
But like, I guess, I don't know. It's a long time, but either way,
it is.
It's a stupid nitpick. I really like David Cornsweet. I think I liked him a little less on rewatch. I don't think he has the stature to be Superman. There are certain scenes where I'm like, fuck, yes, that's Superman. That's an incredible Superman. And then there are some scenes where I think the like elementary, whimsical, corny writing just don't fit the aesthetic that David's going for. And I think it comes off a little jarring and like a little odd. Like there are moments where I look at it and I'm like, that's not Superman. And then there are moments where I look at it and I'm like, that's the best Superman we've ever seen on screen. So I think he was a little all over the place. I do really like him. I think he has like absolutely incredible moments to shine, which we'll talk about in spoilers. Don't worry. Rachel Brosnahan is fantastic. I love her as Lois. I don't care for the rest of the supporting cast. I don't know if I'm on board with Nicholas Hoult. I don't know if I like what he's doing as Lex Luthor. I think he's funny. And again, he fits that world that James Gunn built. I just don't think it's for me necessarily.
I think that's your craziest take yet.
I don't think
I don't think
personally.
I can see that though. Like, I like him a lot better than Logan.
Yeah. I said it out of first watch too. I was like, I don't know if I'm like on board with Nicholas Hoult. And then even after second watch, I'm like, okay, it was funnier on second watch now knowing what he's going for, but I still don't know if I'm like in love with this version of Lex.
Did you like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex? I don't remember.
I'm like kind of hit or miss. I don't know. I think it's a little too quirky for the world Snyder built, but I don't hate it as much as like everyone else.
Yeah.
And then, like Seth said, I really wish we had more of Ma and Pa Kent. I really do. That was like one of my favorite sequences of the movie.
Same.
Along with like the interview scene at the beginning of the movie. That was probably my favorite scene of the movie. But I really wish we had more of Ma and Pa Kent. But yeah, that's my review. I lead slightly more positive on rewatch, even though I feel like I just yapped for 5 minutes about like the negatives of the film. But it really is. It's a good movie. It is. It's a movie that I could absolutely see myself rewatching at home. It's a movie that I could see myself rating higher and higher with every rewatch. Now knowing just like the type of like universe that James Gunn wants to build. So yeah, I don't know. 3 out of 5. I liked it.
Yeah, all right. I'll give my thoughts. Give it a 95 out of 100, 5 out of 5. I absolutely adored this thing. Basically everything George said. I feel the opposite of where, I think frankly, we're looking for different movies in the comic book genre right now. And I think that's fine. I think Snyder and Nolan did irreparable damage to the comic book universe world of just trying to make everything dark and gritty, which I think totally has its moments. And one like pro I'll give to I almost said Zack Snyder. One pro I'll give to James Gunn is I think unlike Kevin Feige, when he is making this universe, he's going to do all sorts of like genres and ratings and all sorts of that sort of thing. I think like Kevin Feige and Marvel will always stick to PG-13 action comedies. With a few in there, like Thunderbolts, that's maybe a little less comedic, even though it's still got majority comedy and some emotional moments. But like we've already gotten that Clayface is going to be like a R-rated horror movie. Cool, good. Like I think James Gunn is willing to do R ratings, willing to do horrors, comedies, dark thrillers. I don't know. And maybe I'm giving him too much benefit considering we haven't seen anything else. But obviously like getting Creature Commandos in this universe was R-rated. It's already like he's already gotten two different.
Wait, what is this?
Two different genres.
Is this like directed to Superman specifically or just James Gunn's universe?
I think he means universe.
What I'm talking about? I'm talking about James Gunn's universe.
Like the DC,
okay.
like
I was gonna say, did I
saying
miss
like
the horror in Superman?
No. I'm saying like he's going. I think what excites me is that he's willing to do like multiple different things. So when you talk like you're not on board with the whimsical side of it or the childish side. Like I think that's something that I really enjoyed, and I want comic book movies to be comic booky again. Like have our heroes be this like very big and overly beloved character that everyone can get behind and everyone's just supporting it within the universe, except the few that are against him. So I loved that part of this movie. I thought it's fun, it's funny, made me smile from ear to ear. I cried probably 5 times during this thing. By cried I mean like I shed a tear, except at one moment I cried like maliciously. It had me so goddamn emotional. I think Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor is probably the best part of this movie. David Cornsweet's fantastic. Yeah, I really loved his Lex Luthor. We'll talk about one scene where it like kind of clicks. I think he has a couple different scenes where it really hits. But one scene I really thought clicked, and I was like, oh yeah, he's fucking killing it. I think the love between Lois and Clark really works in this. It's not perfect throughout the movie, but like they kind of work on it slightly. You can only give so much. I thought the whole supporting cast was fantastic. Guy Gardner was one of those people that like everyone was hating on before, and everyone was like, why the hell is Nathan Fillion doing this? And then I think once you see the movie, it's like, all right, my bad. Good character. And then Mr. Terrific's great. Unfortunately, my girl Isabella Merced definitely gets the back seat of the three. I think she's I think she's she's in the movie for sure at moments.
Sure.
She's there. I really love I really love what they did here in the sense that when you talk Superman, like obviously the most strong being on Earth or in this universe, up there with the most strong. I think James Gunn does depower him a little bit, but Superman being
you kind of have to make
I think you have to make a compelling story, but also I think if you don't, well, no, I guess if you have Superman, I feel like they always think like it needs to be a world-ending event, like the planet's going to explode, and this felt very like there was obviously the Bravia like fight across the world, but this felt very connected to like Metropolis alone. And Metropolis was having the big kaijus, the big battle at the end. Like it felt like very centered towards Metropolis, but also you got Superman talking and going to other countries and like being worldly, as he probably would be, if Superman were a like real person, he would, be around the world, obviously. But it felt very much like they did the multiple villains that they had really well in this universe as to make them very powerful, but also not so powerful that it's like a world-ending cosmic threat kind of thing that I feel like, Superman is normally going against. Like even in Man of Steel, which is obviously way more centered towards Metropolis, they're like, we're gonna enslave the entire world. Like, that's not really a threat in this movie. I like seeing Superman just be a Superman, I guess. I like seeing him save mundane people. I like seeing him celebrate with children. Yeah, I like seeing him like be lifted up by his community, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in Superman. Like, I don't know the character perfectly. I don't read a ton of comics. I think I probably read 2 in my life of him. But like everything I know is that like he's supported by his community. He's beloved by most. He's supposed to be like the perfect thing to look up to as a human. And like I think they really, really nailed it with this one. Yeah, that as I mentioned, the cast is great, and I love Crypto. Crypto was fun. I think they did Crypto in a good way as to be one, not too comedic reliefy and not too emotional reliefy. I think, yes, obviously there is some comedic value of like Crypto just being a dog. But as a big dog lover, I'm like, yeah, dogs are kind of fucking stupid. Yeah, I was like, dogs are kind of fucking stupid like this.
One of my favorite laughs in the movie was spoiler.
Wow, impressive.
Good job. Now that's all I have to say. I fucking love this thing. We'll get into spoilers now. I know most people that are listening to this have probably already seen Superman, but I still like to keep it non-spoilery, spoilery. Words are hard. I like to keep it separated, but we'll get into the spoilers. So as George mentioned, this does not have a origin story. You get set in a lot with 3. So 3 decades ago, Superman came to Earth. 3 years ago, Superman became Superman, put on the uniform. 3 months ago, Lois and him started dating. 3 weeks ago was something.
Lois and him was not mentioned in the title card. It was.
He means that they were.
But he does mention it later that it was.
Oh yeah, he does. Okay, I thought you were going strictly off of the title.
I'm just going. No, not just strict. It does open with a title card that gives you most of these except Lois. I forget what was 3 weeks ago. 3 days ago, maybe it was 3 weeks ago. Superman stopped the conflict in Bravia and Jarhanpur, which is extremely about the Israeli-Palestine conflict right now. So just extremely on the nose, not even subtle, not even trying to be, which is a good, big budget Hollywood choice, which is awesome to see. 3 days ago, I think, is the Hammer of Bravia came to fight Superman, and then it's like 3 hours ago, Superman lost his first battle. And then that's when
the trailer.
Yeah, that's when you you open up on Superman in the snowy ice.
What's it called? The
Antarctica, the Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, so he's in Antarctica. It's exactly how the first trailer for this movie released, with Crypto being called and running to Superman. And then he gets taken to the Fortress of Solitude, where you meet his Superman robots, which I don't know like how comic accurate these are. I think they're a little bit more comic accurate, but they've been portrayed in every Superman iteration just in different ways. But they basically
I didn't know who voiced these. It's kind of cool.
Alan Tudyk, James Gunn's wife. And I think those are the only
Palm Clemente, the one from
Palm Clemente,
and then Michael Rooker as well.
These were the robots?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Really?
Superman
I know
robot.
Alan Tudyk was the main one. I know.
I had no idea.
They might be like, I don't know. They might be like one of the ones that like one line, but it says Superman robot in the cast. So I didn't know either.
Superman robot. Yeah, look at
this is where he gets the yellow sun, and then it's also revealed that Bradley Cooper is playing. Bradley Cooper is playing Jor-El.
About 5 minutes. I had no idea.
And frankly, this threw me off. I didn't like this. I opened up and I was like, don't really care for Bradley Cooper Jor-El. Not something like I really thought of after the like first 5 minutes.
So we didn't know this, did we?
I don't think we knew this because I didn't know this. And when I saw it, I was like, why is Bradley Cooper here? Angela Seraphine portrays his mom Laura. I didn't love Bradley Cooper showing up, but Bradley Cooper and James Gunn are very much like it's one, and that's kind of when I knew like Jor-El was not going to be a major character in this. Like once they had the Bradley Cooper cameo, I was like, oh, this is not going to be a major character. But yes, there is
do you care about that?
Do I care about Jor-El being
not being like that, like guiding light that like
not really, because I appreciate this movie being more about Superman's humanity. So, we'll get to that ending eventually, but the ending made me fucking bawl, man. The ending just had me
I didn't really
crying.
care. He wasn't like involved particularly.
And we'll talk the major change that they make here shortly. So that's kind of the opening intro to Superman as a character. He flies back to fight the Hammer of Bravia and gets his ass kicked again. And this is where you see that Lex Luthor is kind of controlling the Hammer of Bravia and basically has all of these
like a video game.
Moves. Yeah, it's like a video game. I thought that was
it was very Lex Luthor-like.
It's Real Steel.
It's
Real Steel.
Yeah, literally.
I thought that was a very fun addition. I did not like when after 2 minutes of watching him call out these moves, the two people on the side were talking about it, and they're like, he's been studying for the last 3 years on how to fight Superman. We got that. You didn't have to explain it like that.
There were a few moments like that where they verbally say things.
I give the benefit of the doubt of like it's a movie you kind of have to overly explain, but you don't at the same time.
It's Superman.
You make that choice of you don't have to over explain. I think
that's an instance. There's many of those instances where he's just hamstrung by trying to build this universe out with the first movie, and it makes the exposition suffer.
I get why.
There are moments like later in the movie, Luthor's talking to himself, and that's his whole speech where he's like, "Superman's not a man; he's an it." That one didn't even bother me. Like I actually liked that little speech because I like Nicholas Hoult doing this, but when you have like two side characters like talking in the background of like, oh, he's been studying Superman to learn his moves and how to fight him. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, we got that because he's been yelling these moves for them the past minute and a half. He's very clearly doing that.
He isn't doing this off the cuff. We probably understand that at this point. Yeah,
exactly. And so and then Superman again loses the fight, but that's where Luthor basically calls off the Hammer of Bravia, and then he flies back, where it's then revealed that the Hammer of Bravia I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, is just Ultraman in disguise. So Luther kind of has his henchmen of what would you call them? Like villains of metahumans. So he's got Ultraman, and he's got the Tinkerer. What's
something called?
No, what's the
engineer?
What's the girl? The engineer. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
as an engineer yourself, you think you'd give yourself a better name than Tinkerer?
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, it's fair.
Like Cam, what you guys go? You got that tinkering degree, right?
I got that tinkering degree.
So
exactly.
degrading.
So he's got his metahuman henchmen, side characters that are both. I mean, they're both perfectly fine. They didn't need to have backstories or anything, but
I didn't care for her much, to be honest, as a character. I was like,
yeah, I didn't either. I won't deny that. Really? She had some fun powers here and there.
I saw people tweeting saying like the most useless villain in comic movie history, and like that's fair if you don't like the engineer. I like the engineer, but I think you really haven't been watching comic book movies the past 5 years because
that's ridiculous.
I don't know if we've had like a good villain in the past like 5 years.
Bro, you not watched the Marvels? That was like that villain.
Name the villain of the Marvels. Even name the villain. I guess the Red Hulk. Like who are these villains?
No, Jan Rog is Captain Marvel. Damn, I know.
But that's the point. I think we've had a villain problem long before Superman.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, the engineer and Ultraman are perfectly fine in my opinion, but nothing amazing. Basically,
I
Superman.
like that they're like just kind of like Lex's puppets. Like I think that works. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that was a criticism of the film, honestly.
No,
I didn't know that was a criticism either, but I think they were just.
I liked them.
Okay, see that? I'm defending the movie.
There we go, George. Everybody, 350 comments to YouTube. It's the Patrick Starr meme of him like doing this, and it's like another 350 comments.
Can we? Everyone commenting on my letterbox, just comment that on our YouTube page so we can at least get engagement here.
Sure. Okay? Yeah, there we go.
At least help us out.
Exactly. There we go, George. Way to really help us out here. So then later after this happens, you're I believe this is where you're introduced to the Daily Planet. And as George mentioned, this is the only time we see Clark Kent.
Which is weird.
I didn't like that. To be fair, he's in Man of Steel even less. Clark Kent is not in that fucking movie.
From the trailers, I just thought it would be more. I thought it'd be more of an.
It's not. It's Superman just not wearing the suit. He is never Clark Kent in Man of Steel.
Like the first 35 minutes of Man of Steel.
As a kid, but he's
when you're saying Clark Kent, you mean journalism, like in the Daily
I just mean like goofy Clark Kent. He's just Superman without the suit on. He's not doing anything different.
Man of Steel is like a true origin story. Like he hasn't found that persona yet. Like he only gets to the planet to find a job at the last scene of the movie.
I guess. Okay. I get I hear your argument.
I'm going to try. I am making it an effort to not compare the two movies. Okay.
Oh, I'm comparing the two. I'm comparing all of them. To be fair, I just know you defend Man of Steel.
I don't want to put myself in a position where anyone can comment like, "Oh, Snyder Meat Rider."
Meat Rider. Yeah. But he's only in the Clark Kent persona, unless you consider like him as Clark Kent with Mon Pa, but he's only in the Clark Kent persona once. I think the fun thing about Superman is like one thing I had thought a long time ago is like, okay, does Lois Lane only love and I think this comes through a little bit better, especially in the first 4 Supermen with Christopher Reeves. Does she only love Superman? But I think it's fun. Like Superman's kind of the opposite, where like he is Superman and Clark Kent's his persona that he puts on. Whereas like, obviously Batman's Bruce Wayne and he puts on the persona of Batman, and then everyone says like, oh, the actual mask is Bruce Wayne. Yes, but 90% of the time he's Bruce Wayne or doing things like that, or maybe not 90. I'm just throwing out random numbers. But I like that, like, even if she's just in love with Superman, like that's who he is. And like Clark Kent is just kind of a figment. I actually liked his Clark Kent portrayal. He does do the Christopher Reeves thing where he's like a little hunched over. Yeah. He's obviously clumsy and goofy and stuff. So I think he was really good at it. But I was just saying, I think he was really good.
I love that. And you saw it in the trailer, and I love that whole where he's like Ms. Lane, and he just like his stature just like builds, and like the entire scene that was one of the moments, that entire interrogation or interview scene, not interrogation, the entire interview scene. That is my favorite bit of David Corenswet acting in this movie, because he bounces back and forth from Superman to Clark Kent, and it's so easy. It comes so naturally for him, and I fucking love it. Like, my love where she says #super shit, and he immediately snaps back into Clark Kent, and he's like, that one particularly irritates me. Like, I lie that. That's my favorite scene of the movie. That is without a doubt my favorite scene of the movie. I loved that entire scene, and then we'll get to my second favorite scene later.
Perfect. So he's you see him Clark Kent for a little in the Daily Planet. I think they did a very good job at like the very quick interaction between Clark, Lois, and Jimmy of showing that and Jimmy and Lois have a lot more scenes later, but I think they do a very good job of like showing these people are friends, and they have a good relationship. And they're, they work well together and stuff like that. And then it cuts after he is at the Daily Planet, cuts to Lois going to her apartment where, plays the like scene as if someone broke in. And then it pans over and it's Clark, chefing up some breakfast for dinner, which, by the way, breakfast for dinner is my favorite dinner. So I'm pro this movie for that reason again. And that's where it's revealed they've been together for about 3 months now. Gets into what George was talking, that she is going to let Superman interview, or Superman is going to let her interview him, because normally Clark Kent does all the interview. Exactly. So she gets to interview him. They have a very good scene of like him bouncing back from Clark to Superman. Like you really get that. I love that scene as well. And it kind of ends with them not fully breaking up, but basically like Lois saying like, I knew this wouldn't work because I'm not good at relationships, because she holds her job very highly. Right. So after that is when Lex discovers the Fortress of Solitude. He's able to basically just walk right in.
I didn't like the scene.
You didn't like the whole scene, or what?
No, I don't like any of the moments inside the Fortress of Solitude, to be honest.
I think the fortress looks a little corny.
I think it looks all like pretty bad.
Yeah,
I think the lighting, especially inside, I think is like bad, to be honest. I didn't like the scenes inside there.
I think the fortress is supposed to be a little corny.
No, I think it looks bad. I will
say,
not the fortress. I mean, inside. I think the lighting is.
No, I see what you're saying.
I know I said I didn't want to mention Zack Snyder, but I never loved Snyder's fortress being like a ship.
I can't remember his.
I do love James Gunn like doing the ice thing. I really love that.
Yeah,
but I don't think it looks. It was a little too plain. If that makes sense.
It was bland.
You walk in its room,
I know,
right? So
and like again, I know it's supposed to be. I know it's supposed to be just like an open room, but like it
was bland. I agree.
For me as much as I would have.
I don't disagree with that. I really like the 1978 Superman's Fortress of Solitude, because it's got like different levels to it. It's got obviously the crystals coming out and everything, which I really enjoyed. I don't disagree. This was a very like open space, basically.
Desolate,
it's just one room.
It's just like desolate space, like the entrance and the way he walks in. It's just like there.
I did like the little machine that they have that like just blasts Superman with the yellow sun. That part I enjoyed.
Yeah, that's cool.
He has basically like a crystal computer, as he does in almost every. This was a more like high tech. I feel like in Superman 1978. It's Jor-El like in the crystals, like as a message. In Man of Steel, it's basically Jor-El just walking around like a hologram, but it's just the actor Russell Crowe. He's just kind of walking around. This is more Jor-El and Lara are on like a video, basically. It's more like
Carrie Fisher Leia
yeah, it is. It's
literally.
It's like the de-aged Leia in End of Rogue One is exactly what it is. But they're basically on a screen almost, or at least that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
And he has a message that he starts the movie off with that I forgot to mention, that basically just it's basically Jor-El and Lara saying they love Clark, be hope, be a good person, that kind of thing, right? And then it cuts off. The message was damaged.
Very important.
Very important. And you know when it's damaged, you're like, oh, something's gonna come. Something's gonna come. Yeah, exactly. Lex gets to the fortress. He gets the engineer to decode the message. Hashtag release the crypto punch scene. That would have been the animal abuse. They said they cut a scene of Ultraman punching crypto, or was it Lex?
It was one of the three punching. I remember that.
Yeah, so release the punching crypto cut, and that'll be James Gunn using animals to
that really would be
have an emotional reaction for sure. But basically the engineer just throws her like little nanites at crypto and disarms crypto. And then they steal the message back in the old metropolis. They're fighting a giant kaiju. This is where the kaiju battle comes from all the trailers. Superman flying around. This was probably one of my favorite scenes because it wasn't so. Everyone criticizes Man of Steel for just leveling fucking Metropolis, and then they overcorrect in Batman v Superman, in my opinion, where they're like, "We're gonna fight in this." They talk about it like 5 or 6 times.
Move it to a warehouse.
We're fighting in this desolate area in a warehouse. No one's around. No one's gonna get hurt. In this one, I think they did a really, really great job of like not being so overtly, oh, no one's around, but also. Like the kaiju fight, like Superman's saving people. He's saving a dog. He saves a squirrel. He punches the kaiju into a building, but catches it before it hits the building. Like this, for me, was Superman and how he should be done to not cause any like catastrophic damage. Like we'll get into it later. It's very again on the nose, but this specific fight was like very much for me of like. Okay, he's not going to kill, and he's not going to let it kill anything.
What did you think of the look of the kaiju?
I thought the kaiju looked perfectly fine. I have a gripe with CGI later in this in the movie. We'll talk.
I imagine
I do not get the CGI comments. I'll admit. I don't even think this is me being like. I don't think it's CGI. I don't get it.
It's not the CGI. When I say this movie looks bad, it's not the CGI. It's literally the aesthetic and the light.
That one I also don't get. There are so many beautiful shots.
Here's
the look up scene.
There is beautiful shots. There's also like really ugly
shots. Example. And you guys might call me stupid here. Why is Wicked getting so much shit for being so lit, but this movie isn't?
I feel like this movie is. I feel like I see it all.
It's not as Wicked.
Maybe I'm not looking in the right place, but I have not seen one criticism of this movie being like, "Why is it so overly?"
Especially in the indoor sequences in the Daily Planet, there's a lot of scenes that are very reminiscent of that.
Especially in like Lex's little tower.
In the Lex's, I don't know what that's called.
Whatever.
They really just went for the color grading to make it. They almost like went so opposite of Man of Steel.
No, it's not just color grading. It's like the lighting. Behind the heads in certain moments inside.
I only watched the one time. I'll look out for it next, but like
my feed is full of people saying like, it's the ugliest looking film of all time. So I'm not seeing the. I'm seeing.
I mean, maybe it's a different like
there
audience.
Are way uglier films. Let's make that clear. But
it's not like when I say there are moments that are ugly,
it's not as bad as The Flash. That's a crazy.
No, but I just think there's no. I don't think it's as bad as that. I'm saying there are certain sequences which I'll get onto that are Flash reminiscent, but I think the film itself isn't inherently ugly. There are just ugly moments I didn't like, but I think there's a lot of good stuff as well. So with the Flash, I think it's all.
There's certain scenes I think are really, really well done.
I think one specific scene that's really great is when he says, like, it's in the trailers, the "Hey buddy, look up," and then he flies up like through the cloud and the sun starts pulling through. I think
that's cool.
Looked amazing. I loved that moment.
I think superhero directors that have a hero that flies need to stop with the fisheye lens in front of the face. It never looks good. It always looks bad.
Did you see that tweet, Tyler, before where someone tweeted like, "This is every shot in Superman," and it was like looked like a modern day Malik film. I think it was like Poor Things. I don't mind it.
I think every flying, like I think Black Adam is the same shit. I do. It's like no matter what.
This looks better than Black Adam, and it looks better than Guardians 3 with with
Warlock. But that's what I'm saying. Like, every
Warlock,
time
yeah.
people do it just never looks good.
It is.
Yeah.
I
Which
agree.
I don't love.
There is
Fair
always.
take.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I like I said, I think this looks better, but that's a valid take. This is where you're introduced to the Justice Gang, as they do or do not call themselves. Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl. Again, this is where it over explains cuts to a news source that says, like, here comes the corporate Justice Gang ran by it's James Gunn's brother, but I can't think of.
I can't remember the name.
Max
He was the
Lord.
villain in Wonder Woman 2. Max Lord, thank you.
Look at me knowing the
Here's
lore.
yeah, nice. Here's the corporate Justice Gang ran by Maxwell Lord.
Is Max
And
Lord
then
the
it
one that
cuts-
Gal Gadot says in that famous line? That's Pedro Pascal, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm putting
Yeah.
two and two together. Yeah, I remember.
It's like I said, Green Lantern, but Guy Gardner's version of Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Hawk Girl. They come in. They don't care about damage. They don't care about killing the kaiju. They just want to get this cleaned up and gone. So they're like, we need to find a way to kill it. And Superman's like, we need to find a way to get it out someplace that it can be either contained or it can be sent to a different planet. Because obviously, like, Superman could go to any planet and put it on a different one where these kaijus are running around rampant, whatever.
Big guy
so
as well. Big guy.
Yeah, he's just
Huge
looking
fella.
for ways to save it. They are looking for ways to kill it. I thought this was a really fun use of their powers, and the Guy Gardner comment that got me and made me think, oh, I actually really like these guys, are when he says, look, I gave it oven mitts, and that just made me laugh very much. Hawk Girl was trying to beat its eye in with her mallet.
I hate that shit,
and-
man. I hate
Oh yeah, the
You
straight
hated
in
that oven
several
mitts
shots to the
joke?
eye.
Oh.
That one made me laugh. The
I hate
look,
it.
I gave it oven mitts made me laugh.
Yeah.
That one had me fucking crying. I'll admit. That was a funny
I
joke.
didn't mind that one.
Mr. Terrific uses his T-spheres to basically, again, they're all going at its eyes, really. I think Mr. Terrific sends his T-spheres in its mouth and then blows it up from the inside.
blows
That's
up
how they
its
kill it,
stomach.
right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
yeah.
And then Superman's like, come on, why couldn't you have let me, get it away or whatever? And this is kind of the start of him working with the Justice Gang to hopefully make them a little bit better.
I didn't realize they were friends at first. Just I don't know the law. The scenes after this when they start speaking. I didn't realize they were kind of acquainted. I didn't really understand.
Yeah, I think that's what their way, like George was talking earlier, of it doesn't feel lived in, doesn't feel like he's around for 3 years. I think that was their way of trying to show
Okay,
they've been, they've been working together before, right? Do they do it perfectly? Maybe not, but I think that's their way of trying to show that. Luther, who, throughout this movie, like we just mentioned, he was at the Fortress of Solitude earlier in the movie. He has a scene with I don't even know what this defense group is. It's a group of 5 U.S. agents.
With Frank Grillo being Frank Grillo.
Yeah, Frank Grillo doing
doing his best, Frank Grillo.
Rick Flag Sr. in this one. So from the Suicide Squad, Rick Flag Jr. It's his dad. But yeah, it's just Frank Grillo being Frank Grillo.
Which is not it's a bad thing to say, by the way. I like Frank Grillo a lot. He's just a cool guy. Shea Wiggum.
I fuck with
Shea
Frank.
Wiggum, nice. They're in a meeting. Basically, Luther's trying to say this is why he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, is he's trying to get them to rally around starting a new group with Ultraman, the engineer, and his Luther bots, basically, to be the U.S. defense rather than Superman himself. And so then he gets the message, and it's unveiled that the rest of the message from Jor-El is basically rule Earth with power.
Yeah.
Which is a big change. Honestly, I don't know. I'm sure this is not I know for a fact this isn't the first time we've seen something like this.
I know there's
about it. Yeah, I'm sure there's a comic about it. I obviously have not read it. It is
I had no idea
popular. Yeah, it's not the most popular. I think it's a big swing. Maybe this is cool. Tyler, is this what you're mentioning when you said this is a big swing it took? Because this is very different from what we've seen on screen. No, okay.
It's pulled loosely from Smallville.
Yeah,
so,
Smallville. That's where I was getting to. Is Smallville was very
Smallville,
much
Smallville
ish
flipped
like
it
this.
the other way, where the message people had interpreted to say
Was
rule
that it
Earth,
was actually,
and then down the line they were like, "Oh, we misinterpreted." That's
which is
not
what I
it.
predicted.
Which is what I
with
thought
this.
they were going to do here.
I thought,
Yeah.
As
I
of
thought everyone
now,
got it wrong.
the message is still like, this is a good message,
But
which I'm sure
are
you
we
can change
supposed
it
to-
one day.
Are we supposed to believe that that's true, or are we supposed to believe that Lex is making this up?
I think we're
I-
supposed to believe
I
that's
think
I think
about
they made
true.
it very apparent that it's true. They really
Yeah.
that's one of the things they really ham-handed for us, where they had like
Okay.
7 different times where like we had 73 people.
7 like
realize
yeah,
this.
people like yeah,
And then they
just
even
dial
had like a
people
technology guy. They're
Yeah.
like, there's no way he could have corrupted.
There's no
this.
way he could have been
Even
wrong
now,
and
I think
stuff,
we're
yeah.
supposed to believe it's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure down the line, maybe it's like revealed that what he said is true, but actually it
I hope
had
not.
another
That'd be real,
part.
just fucking
I agree. Like, I think it's a fun and different change. Like, it's a very,
yeah.
again, it shows that Superman is more of like a human. And that's like, we'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
That's like a big part of this movie is that he's a human, right?
Yeah, he was sent to
Um,
destroy Earth by his father because Maestro wasn't given an Oscar.
Exactly.
Very
That's
true,
exactly
very
why.
true.
And that's when like the public starts to turn on Superman.
This we see the
Basically,
throwing scene. The throw. What does he throw? A can at him or something?
he throws a
The-
can at Superman's head. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was in the
yeah.
trailers, right?
the first scene,
Um, And then Superman kind of escapes back to the Fortress of Solitude, or not really escapes because no one can take him down, right? But he goes back to the Fortress of Solitude. This is where it's revealed that Crypto's gone and was taken. And then he goes and I think this is where it gets to my favorite scene, which is the first look scene, basically, where the Justice Gang is fighting the giant kaiju in the background. And Superman is kind of going back to his apartment. And
Made
this
me
is where-
laugh this scene quite a
Yeah,
bit.
this scene is funny.
One of the
Yeah.
best shot scenes of the movie too. This
Yeah.
this
I
scene is
agree.
gorgeous. Look,
I agree.
This is the best looking bit of the film,
and
for sure.
and it
but-
definitely like shot a lot of people up too that were like, why is he putting on a fit while like Metropolis is getting destroyed? And then you realize when
Yeah.
you watch the movie, like,
this
because
did
the
make me
Justice
laugh.
Gang got it on. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
this
like-
is Tuesday in
So
Metropolis.
it's the creature design is so weird at that point. The
Yeah,
colors
it's
and
so
stuff, it
fun.
just looks so stupid in the background.
Yeah.
This
Because
made
you don't
this is
realize in
probably
the
my
first
favorite
look
scene.
that like all those colors and stuff were like Guy, Guardian,
Green
like,
Lanterns,
all these different
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Green
Yeah.
And
Lantern,
it's just like
yeah.
a normal Tuesday. It's like, that's a Spider-Man level threat.
I think
That's not like
again
a
that
Captain
that
Marvel
is what they
level threat.
tried to do of like establishing these characters.
I
in this
agree.
universe
This is like the
of,
best
like,
moment of that. Where it's so normalized.
Great
Great
scene,
that's there. Yeah, I agree.
And then it also flips like the first time you see Clark in Lois's apartment, it flips that around where now Lois has gone into Clark's apartment. They have a very heartfelt conversation. This is where I first cried. And before this, I don't think the movie for me was very perfect. And so frankly, my 5-star might not stay. I talked to you all about that of like, I think Sinners is better and I didn't give that a 5-star. So I got to go look at it, whatever. Before this moment, I don't think this was a perfect movie. After this moment is like, it really flips for me. Basically
was
his
my-
conversation with,
Go.
this was your favorite scene or no?
I was gonna say this was my favorite interaction between Lois and Clark. Like I think I liked the interview
definitely.
scene better, but this was absolutely my favorite. Like this is where on second watch, this is the only part of the movie where like I was actively tearing up and getting water.
Remind me what they speak about in the scene. I can't understand.
Yeah, they speak about basically how they don't work well together. Lois Lane is
yeah,
punk.
okay.
Lois Lane is punk rock,
Yeah.
and she basically says that like Superman, like you think everyone's beautiful, you trust everyone, and he says
Yeah.
maybe that's the
real
new punk rock, and that shit hit,
got me.
man.
No, what really
Um,
got me is when they're looking out at the window, and this is before they like hug, and Lois is like, "Why do you care so much?" And she's like, "It's a dog," and Superman's like, "Yeah," and he's not a very good one, but he's out there alone and probably scared. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck me,
It's-
man."
Dude, I'm feeling emotional right now. just
Yeah,
thinking
like
about it again.
that might have been my favorite line of the entire movie. Yeah, but he's not a very good one, but he's
That
out
was
there
bug
alone
smoke,
and
for sure.
probably scared. Like that shit fucked me up on rewatch.
Yeah, I think this is again where this movie really flips and becomes amazing for me. And then
This is
like,
this
they
is why like I'm so neutral on this movie, because you have moments like this that are
legitimately like all-time comic book moments. Like this is like I loved that scene and I loved the interview scene. And then you have moments like, you know,
We're gonna go on to.
Yeah, like we'll get to, but like prior to that, like the kaiju scene, don't love. The fisheye scene, don't love. Like there's so much good and so much not good. Like
It kind of excels in its like intimate moments, especially in that first half, rather than the big like moments for me, like in terms of the ones with Lois and Clark specifically.
At this point in the movie, up until this very point, my two favorite scenes were the interview scene and this scene right
here.
Just the small...
Wait, when was the... No, not me. Yeah.
They so he goes out and looks for crypto, but this is where he like tells Lois he loves her way too early, which I also like thought was great, just like being very Superman and just kind of to the point of like he loves so deeply and he cares about people. I think that really worked as well. Like she doesn't say it back at the time. So I think that worked as well. And this is where, dude, they were smooching during these movies. The first time they like are in Lois's apartment, they're fucking making out, man. And I'm like, oh,
kissing,
yeah. This is not fake kissing. This is tongue on tongue. if you're the partner of either David Cornsweet or Rachel Brosnahan, like this is where you're watching the movie and going, all right, I'm a little uncomfortable with this.
Did you see one of those interviews? So in one of the on the press tour, and by the way, they're having an all-time press tour right now.
Oh yeah.
But one of the questions was directed to David and Rachel, and they were like, how did you prepare for like to have this much chemistry between Lois and Clark? And Rachel Brosnahan was like, we made out so much. We made out for hours on end. And I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Speaking of press tour, they had a very good, like David Cornsweet I think he just had a kid or had like a 6-month-old basically, like while filming this, and just talks about his wife taking care of their kid. And it's a very good interview. And then also like Nicholas Hoult mentions like his kid being on David Cornsweet's kid being on set. Very cute.
Why do people hate James Gunn being involved so much?
Yeah, because people just
but it's just like I don't get it. It's
I think other directors don't always do that. Like Quentin Tarantino does, and like no one gives him shit for that. But for other things, sure. But yeah,
the thing is, like, I think maybe more in the film space, we can give a little more slack because it's like I would love to see more directors because like directors are the creative behind the film. I want to see them involved, but it's the same thing like with Killers of the Flower Moon. Like Martin Scorsese's at the end, and that caused a lot of people like be like, why is he inserting himself in his own film? I think it's just like people who like aren't super into like movie culture. I think
people aren't driven by
directors towards it. Yeah. But people who actually appreciate movies, they're like, I would love to see every director of every movie be like the lead of the press tour, like talking like Ryan Coogler with Sinners. Like that was great.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to see more of it.
But yeah, you are right. People are the general audience is driven by actors rather than us driven by people behind it. Yeah, for sure.
And then so after this, he goes out and looks for the dog. He goes to Luther. Where's the dog? And then like public perception just keeps changing on him because he's getting videotaped, and it's like Superman goes crazy for a dog or whatever.
Smashes up the office and shit.
Yeah. He turns himself into Rick Flag Sr. And this is where Ultraman kind of throws him down and like locks him up, and they're like, we know the US government can't contain you, so we're giving you to Luther. Luther then goes to his pocket dimension and locks up Superman there. And this is where we first get to see Metamorpho, played by he's a very famous
Anthony Carrigan.
Thank you. He's a very famous
he was in Death of a Unicorn.
Side bit actor.
Yeah.
He's a Shea Wiggum.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I feel like he's like a B tier Shea Wiggum. But he's very good. So yeah, we see Metamorpho, who basically can create any known substance, and because he's seen kryptonite, he can create kryptonite. Which in this movie they make it very clear like there's no more kryptonite, which is interesting. I feel like that won't be true in the upcoming sequels or whatever we get. But I do think they make it very clear like there's no kryptonite, so they obviously use Metamorpho's power for that. Metamorpho is being held captive because his son is in a different cage, basically. And so it's a very classic, like it's a very classic, like Superman could so easily break out of this and save that baby if you just stopped putting kryptonite on him. Like it's one of the, but
we do
every
get to
time
see that,
Superman
though,
tries to
like-
talk, he's like, don't talk to me. And that sort of thing, and then beats
It's like,
Superman up.
Bro, he'll help you.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's like
we get
truly
to
the
see
most
how
powerful
the
being
impact
in a
of
collab.
it, like in
I
that
think, and they do a
world,
really good job with this one of like, and if you watch Superman 1978, again, it's a very old movie, and you don't have the CGI as you do now. But like they don't do any makeup to him or anything. Of he just looks a little weak and maybe sweatier. Whereas in this. And then also in like Man of Steel, to that same point, like it just depowers him, but doesn't really do anything to him. It doesn't look like
we get the physical,
Batman v
like
Super. Yeah. In this, you see like his skin is bubbly. It makes him sick. So it's I think that was an interesting look at it. Eventually, obviously, like he talks Metamorpho down. He goes and saves Joey the baby, and
Wait,
this
you're
is
skipping
where-
over the crazy revolver scene.
Oh,
You get
yes.
the context of that. That was
Thank
like,
you.
holy
I'm sorry.
shit.
I am sorry.
that was crazy.
This is-
That was crazy.
Yes,
Fucking hell,
that
that
was
the best
insane.
Lex Luthor scene, where I like really loved Nicholas Hoult. I can't believe I skipped over it. Earlier in the movie, Superman gets lifted up by like a hot dog stand owner. I think I can't remember specifically what it was. Now he's getting interrogated. Superman is getting
he
interrogated,
knows him,
and
yeah.
Lex Luthor brings a gun or a revolver and brings that person that saves him or lifts him up, and basically plays Russian roulette as he asks questions. Immediately
Is it the
shoots him in the
second-
head.
No, it was
It was the second.
Second.
It was the second spin.
Second shot.
So
And you
first,
think that it's not. It's just with these films. Typically, you
There's
think
no way this guy's
you're
gonna
not
die.
no way this guy's gonna die. Superman's
Bro.
gonna do something, or he's gonna answer it. And I think this just adds to like Nicholas Holt's Lex, and also like you see how emotional it makes like Superman, and like how sorry he is that this happened. But yeah, the first spin, you hear the click, nothing goes off, and then he asks another question like why are you here or something like that. Spins, bang, just shoots him right in the head, and then Lex looks at it. It's like I didn't think they would go that quickly. And so that was like that was a crazy scene. I thought that was a really great scene.
Which completely subverts expectations because the way
Yeah.
they set up the interrogation scene, you think you're gonna be buckled in for like a 10-minute intense actor on actor back and forth, but like that scene's so quick because the second shot kills him. He's like, well, I guess I gotta go find someone else.
That's
Just leaves.
Yeah,
You're
he's like, I'll go find someone
I
else.
didn't
He
think I was
goes
gonna be
off.
that quick.
Which people could
Yeah.
argue is like us, I guess, overplaying it. But at the same time, you watch any other fucking modern day blockbuster, or
Mhm.
they're the typical interrogation scenes, and something always happens. So that's again where James Gunn kind of puts, a darker spin on what is a very dreamlike and quirky film. So
Yeah.
I like that scene for sure.
Yeah. And then so after that, that's where Superman then. So that it causes Metamorpho to like start crying because he's not a bad guy, and he's like, "Can you actually save Joey?" And then they do. He does eventually stop doing the kryptonite. He does save Joey, and they
He does
kind
the
of.
sun. He does
Makes
the. He
the
does like the sun ray. He doesn't do the sun, but he does
Yes.
the
Oh,
ray.
yes. That was very cool. He does the sun ray to help heal Superman. That was very cool. I liked that. He makes like a partial sun. They kind of start escaping. This is where I think the CGI looks rough, is when Joey is in hand
that's
of
fair.
Metamorpho.
Dude.
I
Metamorpho
texted.
flying around with Joey in hand was very rough.
I text George straight as and I'm like, bro, that scene on the like river or whatever,
Mhm.
ugliest fucking shit ever. This particular
that
scene
that
is
worse. than
so
Flash.
bad. I agree. It's this
That's
scene
probably.
is
No, it's not worse than the
terrible.
Flash ending. When you get like you get
It's
Nicolas
equals people.
Cage
It's
Flash-
equals people.
when you get Nicolas
Equals.
Cage Superman,
Yeah,
that's probably
okay,
the worst
that's
scene I've
bad.
ever seen. I think.
Cam,
but-
when I was thinking of Flash,
Yeah.
this is this
Okay, this is,
singular
fair.
sequence,
This is a rubbery ass
so-
scene.
which by the
No
way,
doubt.
I was gonna say this
Superman
before.
holding the baby up while he
With all the colors, bro, the lighting in this scene.
the Photon River. What was it called? Was it?
I can't remember. I have no idea.
Was a photon river or proton river or something of that
With the
nature.
proton-
Either way,
Bro,
horrifying.
which is annoying to me because I was going to say this before. The whole sequence when they get into Cam, remind me what it's called. The pocket. What is
The
it?
pocket dimension. It's a
Pocket
pocket
dimension.
universe,
Yeah, like when
pocket
they
dimension.
enter these bits. The actual like thematically, I really enjoy them, but I just think these bits really, especially this sequence in the river, stands out as being like incredibly ugly, which for me was really annoying because the actual what was going on I thought was really strong and really backed up the theme, the themes of the film and Superman's strive for humanity, and especially with the scenes we just spoke about with the interrogation. But this scene really took me out of it because I think it's fucking hideous. Like just this singular moment where they're going down.
This scene does look rough. I'm not arguing with you there. It's a very rubbery of like Metamorpho flying around and then holding Joey is super rubbery.
Bro, that baby. Oh my
that baby
God.
does not look real. That's the baby that the
like Twilight baby.
Microwave.
It's like Twilight Baby. That's the equivalent.
Twilight
like,
Baby.
Yeah, or American
so
Sniper
bad.
Baby. American Sniper Baby as well. That's the baby.
I can't remember that baby. I can't remember the American Sniper Baby.
After we finish recording, go on YouTube. It's bad.
It's a literal
I'll go look it up.
It's really
That's
bad.
funny.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Oh no, that's when Bradley Cooper's rocking it and it's a doll. Yeah. Okay, now I remember. Yes. Sidebar, that was funny. So then he eventually gets out, and this I really liked how he gets out of like Metamorpho trying to save him and Joey, and they're floating towards a black hole, and then he uses his freeze breath to blow himself out, basically. To do what? Never mind. He gets out of there. Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane have been searching for him in this pocket universe or pocket dimension, and they basically talk like this could create a black hole
through the like portal
for us, through the portal. And I really liked how they escape and when they escape, and also I really liked the pocket dimension just being like, this is a goofy universe. Lex Luthor just created this pocket dimension. Like I don't know, I like that. I think that's
I like it. The only thing I don't like about this scene is just
good.
how it looks. That's the problem with it. Yeah, I like that.
You're right about that. You were right about that. You do get a scene of Lois trying to go to the Justice Gang and talk to them of like, hey, he needs your help, and they're like, well, we can't go.
And she's like, but it's like some you need to get something for your haircut. That was funny. What did she say?
Yeah, she says like that haircut is against the rules or something.
And he's like,
good roast. Good roast.
In Guardians 1 where Rocket was like, that haircut should be is assaulting people, and I'm like, James Gunn love fucking with haircut.
Yeah, he does. He loves doing that.
Yeah, that is funny. I like that. I like that scene quite a bit.
Then they escape. So Lois goes to look for him, and Mr. Terrific comes out, and she's like, why are you helping? And he's like, just to piss off Guy Gardner or whatever. So you can see like their team chemistry right there. Then Lois and Mr. Terrific find them. They escape from the pocket dimension, right? And when he gets out, he has kryptonite poisoning, where then he needs to be taken to. He basically gets taken to Ma and Pa Kent's farm. This is where he goes to heal. And Lois has the T ship or whatever. I don't. I know they're T spheres in Mr. Terrific, but I don't know what the T ship is called. Calling it the T ship.
The ship.
She flies him to their farm. You know, you get very fun scene of like Crypto running around through Crypto's just such a boy this whole time. He just runs through the fields, just on this farm. It's great. You get a good scene of Ma and Pa Kent, basically just taking care of Superman. Lois looks at. It's interesting. Lois sees on the wall. What's the band's name that he says is punk rock?
Crab something.
Crab, yes. Because they mentioned that earlier on in the film, didn't they? They made a joke about it.
That was a funny moment in the film. Where,
that was a funny moment. Yeah.
Lois is like, no one likes them, and Clark's like, they got a couple of fans.
Yeah. What were they called?
The Mighty Crab Joys. So it's interesting. James, this is not a real band. James Gunn basically hired these musicians to be the Mighty Crab Joys. They wrote a song for the ending. So now they're kind of like a real band, but it's a very fascinating just story if you didn't know that. Like, this is not a real band. James Gunn kind of put this all together, just being that he's a big music guy. He wanted like a band for this universe specifically. I believe they will keep showing up in like more projects. But yeah, they wrote a song for the very end of this movie as well. And like, he's got a poster of them in his childhood room.
Yeah.
Little fun fact about the universe. And then Lois basically gets a call that she needs to go. What does she go back for? Is this where Jimmy's getting information from Eve?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Tesh
has
Masher?
any of that
selfies.
happened yet?
It
I
all
think so.
happens
Jimmy,
like it's like
Because
cutscenes.
has
Yeah.
Jimmy? Because obviously Jimmy. No, because she finds out. Oh, does he find out about the selfies, or does she? About how why
no,
she?
no, she does. He gets
She
the
zooms in.
selfies,
He gets the selfies, but he's like, they're just a bunch of fucking selfies.
and then she,
And you see
she like
behind them,
sees that behind has
his whole
Luther's whole
plans
plan,
and-
basically.
Yeah.
Someone commented on my Letterboxd review, or maybe my TikTok review, I don't know, of like, so stupid that Eve Teschmacher like betrays Luther just for comedic relief for Jimmy. And like, I understand the comedic relief side of it. Maybe you don't love of like him being like, it's funny. He's like randomly a
enamored.
womanizer. Like
He's like an
trying to
Austin
be.
Powers. Do you know what I mean?
Which is
Where
comic
he's like,
accurate. Jimmy
yeah.
Olsen's a womanizer in the comics.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And so, but also Eve is like notorious for being the person that like turns on Luther. Like it happens in 1978. Superman, like she takes the kryptonite off of Superman. Like this is very much just kind of how it goes, right? In this, they just play it a little differently, where she's sending a bunch of selfies to.
They play it of this generation. You know,
yeah, exactly.
Whatever, which I don't mind.
She's like an influencer, and she sends him all of the selfies she's been taking in Luther Corp and all of that
genius.
jazz, right?
Honestly,
Yeah, exactly. Kind of genius. So they then get out. They go back to the Kent farm. Lois leaves Kent farm, and then you get a really great scene of when they wake up in the morning. You see Superman like watching Crypto play out in the fields. You get a great scene of Pa and Clark basically talking about what it means to be a hero and stuff. This was another scene that just made me cry. As this is happening, any comments on this scene? I feel like this is a beloved scene for the most part.
We like we said before, I think I like how, again, these moments I love because it really brings the humanity, and I like the upbringing of someone who isn't from Earth and isn't from that section being brought up and treated like their own. I just like scenes like this, and I think it's like, again, it's an obvious scene that should be included, but it's just one of those things that I think has to be when you're talking about Superman. So I really like this scene. I think
Are we still on mine, Pa Kent, right now?
Yeah.
We're on the Pa conversation with
this is like, this was a bigger example of like, I don't feel like this is a world that Clark Kent has. Like, I didn't feel like that was Ma and Pa Kent. I felt like that was just two random ranchers.
I know what you mean.
Fascinating.
Yeah, like I and it's because we just didn't get enough of them. And like I get the vision. I know that James Gunn wanted to make this a Superman movie and not really a Clark Kent movie, but like I don't know. I didn't feel that like paternal connection to Clark with Ma and Pa Kent. I really love that scene of Clark and Pa on the bench. I really do like it. Like that definitely struck a little chord with me. But like as a relationship as a whole, I didn't feel that level of strength. Like it did not feel like that was his parents. Like it just felt like that was just like, oh, this is where Lois just happened to drop the tea shit.
Couple of old guys. Yeah, but he is very like relationship heavy in the kind of speech and monologue that he gives.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know what you mean.
I agree
really
with
thought it
George.
worked,
Like,
but I see what you're saying.
I think the written word of what's said in that scene is really great. But I think Ma Kent, I think she's fine. I think Pa Kent is terrible. I think Pruitt Taylor Vince is a dreadful actor. I thought he was terrible in this movie. Every Pa Kent delivery line, I was like, get this guy off the screen.
I didn't love him. I quite liked him, honestly.
We both looked at each other.
Wholeheartedly disagree with that one. That's a take
I just
for
had
sure.
no emotional connection because I just couldn't. Pruitt Taylor Vince, not my guy. I did not care for him.
I think he does a really great job in the few scenes they're in. Obviously, like Pa Kent normally in Superman's normal origin story dies, and so a change that James Gunn made to that is that he's still alive when Clark is Superman. And I think they handled that really well in this. I was honestly shocked he didn't die in this movie. I thought that's kind of where they were going. But we'll see if, they probably will have much more scenes. I think he will eventually. They probably will have much more scenes together. But I think this scene really worked. And I think what hammers it in is maybe not Pa himself, but Ma Kent, Martha, which here's trivia. What's Martha's middle name?
Wayne.
Clark. No, it's Clark. If I'm not like when in Superman 1978, Jonathan calls her Martha Clark Kent. So yeah, if that's true, I have no idea, but I took that as trivia of her.
Martha Hudson Clark Kent is the full
There
name.
you go, Hudson Clark. Okay,
let's just remove the Hudson, so it sounds like cool.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Martha, when she calls him earlier in the movie, and is like congratulating him for his front page story, like I really like that scene. And then also later in this episode, or in this scene where she's basically like, I washed your boots for you. Like I really like that scene. So I think all of the scenes with Ma and Pa really worked for me and made me very emotional. And I think they had a lot of love there. But
question,
I see where you're coming from.
Suit thoughts? Do we all vibe with it? Do we all like the suit?
I was fucking with the suit.
I
was a big fan of the suit.
I like the suit.
People didn't like it at first. I was a big fan of the suit. I think
I like the suit. I think it's cool. It works within the universe.
I think James Gunn has like, this is where I think James Gunn's like an interesting director, where it's like he wants this world to be as fantastical as possible, as he does with like his Guardians movies, but then he puts them in suits that are like real suits, like suits that would be made by like human beings, which like doesn't like, if you're going for like this traditional 60s, 70s Superman charm, why is he not wearing spandex? Like, why is he in this?
They are still like silly though, not his necessarily, but the other.
I like what's the opinion on the underwear, on the trousers? I like it.
Yeah,
I
don't like or hate it. It didn't bother me as much on second watch. On first watch, I didn't love it, but on second watch, I was like, all right, now that I get the vibe that he's going for, I don't mind the trousers or the briefs. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, I think the suit is good. Don't think it's great.
So after this, it's revealed that this whole conflict in Baravia and Jarhanpur is set up by Lex Luthor, basically because he wants Baravia to take over Jarhanpur so it can become like Lutherania or whatever. I don't remember exactly what the Luthor land is, but this is very much to Luthor's, like, again, back to 1978 Superman and those 4 movies, like Luthor is all about land. Again, in Superman Returns, Luthor's all about land, basically saying, like, I think in both iterations, his father tells him, like, people will change, money will change, material will change, but land will always be needed. Land will always be most valuable. So this kind of
that's context I was missing, because I know we're both, because I haven't seen those other ones. So we were both like, why does he want, like, land seems like a weird prize that he's looking for.
Yeah, so in both of those, it explains it better that like his father used to tell him that sort of thing. But in this, it's like kind of just he wants the land, right? Mm-hmm. Basically to create a technological haven is what they were saying, where everyone will come for it, whatever. So he's put on this entire conflict. The entire conflict is like erupting, basically. Superman is like, I have to go get to Jarhanpur because the Baravia military is about to storm Jarhanpur. He has to get out there to stop the conflict and help out. At the same time, Luthor has kind of set the pocket dimension loose in the world, kind of exploding it, and it's cracking through Metropolis. So Superman needs to get there to help out Mr. Terrific. And this is the scene that got me absolutely bawling, like tears streaming down my face, was the little kid in Jarhanpur lifting the Superman flag. Don't fucking do that, George. Don't fucking do that, dude. Do not do that. This is the exact movie that was marketed to you. So if you didn't like this scene, that's on you, frankly. This scene is the most beautiful part of this movie. What's your opinion? Give me your opinion, because this is where I'll get heated. This is where I'll leave 351 comments on your Letterboxd review, man. Like this, you're lost if you didn't like or know this scene was coming.
It's not that particular instance, although I do think that particular instance is like so fucking corny. It's like
that's the whole fucking point. That's the whole goddamn movie that was marketed to you, though. That's the whole. This scene is the whole marketing. Like,
that's fine. It just doesn't work for me. But also before that, there's like this like wide shot. There's this wide shot of like this just barren wasteland. Like it's the Flash. It's a barren wasteland. On one side, you got the military. On the other side, you got a bunch of Dom Torettos. And then, like, in the middle of it, you have this one kid just lifting a flag.
Goddamn right. Because he knows that Superman can bring hope to this town, this country, and can bring support where they need it because they're just about to be raided on.
You're absolutely right.
I do kind of agree, to be honest.
You're absolutely
with George.
Why don't you like it, Seth?
I don't. It's not that I didn't like it. I just think.
No.
I think it's like an obvious scene. I think it's very important. It's a tricky one because at the end of the day, it's a Superman movie. It's not that I didn't like it. I just thought it was like there. But it's not like I was like, oh, I understand that it was marketed. And obviously, this was a big moment. That wasn't the first trailer, wasn't it?
No, I think it was in the second. It was in the second.
Whatever.
And,
like I get it.
I think it was in like multiple TV spots. Like.
I understand it. Yeah, but I wasn't enamored by the scene. I do kind of get the flash of the ending as well. In terms of this, I
do not think this is the best scene in the movie. I think this is the scene that made me react the most emotionally of like, this is Superman. This is what it means to have Superman on this earth.
I do get.
And find that anyone, like in this universe where Superman's around, anyone can believe that he is going to help them out and he is going to save the day. And again, it's a fucking 9-year-old kid. You want him to grab a gun instead? Zack Snyder? You want Crypto to have a gun too? You want everyone to have a gun?
I do agree.
Just and a dream, goddammit.
Just to echo your point, I do agree because I think Superman is, again, like a huge thing about faith. You know, no matter what religion you belong to, what you believe is that you have a faith in a higher power that's going to save your situation, and that's kind of and Superman is the proverbial savior for them. So I do agree.
George would rather this kid be Oppenheimer, make a bomb for them. Like that's what you want. It's got a big S on his atom bomb. That's what he's got. It's a Superman atom bomb.
It's kind of the Dark Knight Rises, but.
Yeah, basically.
But no, like this is what I was talking about. Like the big swing is like that's just insane to me that like James Gunn starting a DC universe, like which is like a company's going to try to ride on for ideally 2 to 3 decades. Who knows? And like to be so on the nose with what's going on in Gaza and Israel and Palestine. There's not another blockbuster in history I think has been this on the nose. That's like apparent. And the thing is, like people might say it's a little obvious, but we have people that are like MAGA that like call themselves the rebellion of Star Wars. Like people don't understand the subtleties, and that's not even that subtle. It's like, I don't know. I think it's such a bold thing for a blockbuster to do, and I don't think we've ever seen anyone be this bold.
To be honest, I get it.
There are also such fucking idiots on the internet. I saw this one dude that was literally like, wow, LexCorp is so clearly like the Russians. And you're like, I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind?
LexCorp is Lex Luthor is Elon Musk, you idiot.
The United States funding Israel. Like, how stupid can you be? That's beyond
giving them weapons. Yeah, like
here's what I wish happened, Cam. I wish that kid lifted the flag,
and then he pulled out a gun,
and then pulled a Glock out of his pocket.
Yeah, and he said, "Fuck you."
Did the point break shooting in the air?
Oh my god!
Speaking of fuck you, sorry, just back to the interview. I'm going so far back now to the interview scene, but you just said "fuck you," and that reminded me. I saw another interview with Rachel and David, and David was like, in the moment filming that interview scene, Rachel said something as Lois that really got under my skin, and my reaction was to say, "Oh fuck you," and now people are like, "Release the fuck you cut."
Oh yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah, he yeah, I don't know. I love this scene so much. Like, again, I don't think it's the best scene in the movie. I think it made me the most emotional of like, this is the climax of Superman. And then this is where you get, so moving on a little bit, the city is evacuating. Again, fairly on the nose of like, how do you do this major grand scale destruction of the city without killing people? Because Superman is going to be very much like, trying to save everybody kind of thing. So you evacuate the city. People were mad that it's like, oh yeah, I'm sure all 10 million people were evacuated. Like at that point, you're just looking for things to be mad about. I think it's just one of those things you just gotta.
No, one of the biggest criticisms of Man of Steel is that is like 15 9/11s, and now James Gunn
is. They level that shit,
and now James Gunn is leveling a city and splitting the earth in half, and people are like, "Oh no, they evacuate."
No, because they make a point to evacuate the city. They say it once, they evacuate the city. In Man of Steel, they fucking level the city, and dude. Superman literally lets a oil rig like explode and kill people, and just stands there and aura farms. Man, he just stands there and fucking serves space. And he goes,
"Do you know how long it would take to?"
He hits that jawline with him and just lets him die. Like that's the point of Man of Steel criticism. He does. He fucking serves face to these people that are dead on fire.
Superman holds a building up, which has to have people in it, drops it, and then lifts up through the smoke.
The whole point is they make a 5-minute scene of them trying to evacuate. I'm not arguing. Yes, they probably don't 100% evacuate the city in real life. But in my universe, where there's a flying fucking dog and a kaiju, they've evacuated the city for all I care. I'm not saying in real life you would have.
These aren't criticisms that went into my rating. So before people start commenting that, don't. Okay, I just think the double standard is fucking crazy because for the last 11 years I've had to hear that Zack Snyder filmed 15 9/11. Now you got James Gunn. James Gunn levels Metropolis, and because it's
evacuated the city. That's the whole goddamn point of 5 minutes before this scene.
It's a whimsical movie. It's okay all of a sudden.
It is. If you want to make a grounded movie, then you have to take grounded criticisms. If you want to make a whimsical, fun movie where you don't have to believe that everything is happening on this planet, then yes, you are given the benefit of the doubt that there are whimsical things that people get out of the goddamn building.
Okay, why can't you have that approach with Man of Steel? If Man of Steel is a grounded movie.
Man of Steel is not whimsical. Man of Steel doesn't make any point to. That's you and I are saying the same shit. Man of Steel does not make a point to evacuate even a single building. He lets an oil rig explode on people and just serves face. I don't know how many times I'll pull up the scene.
I'm just saying you're okay. You're okay with suspending reality and assuming that Metropolis was evacuated within like an hour
because they trying to make a point.
Hold on, because the movie is whimsical, but in a grounded movie like Man of Steel, that is reality. If that were to happen in real life, that would happen. 15 9/11s would happen, and that many people would die.
And that's not my Superman then.
But you
that's
absolutely cannot suspend that reality in that case.
That's not my Superman then. That's not my Superman then.
That's fine. I just think
I honestly would accept your argument more if you went to Batman v Superman, where again they make note of it like 5 times that they're in this barren land that no people are around. Like that makes more worth an argument that they tried to overcorrect, and in this one they probably way overcorrect.
That's fine. All I'm saying is that there's this double standard, which is insane. If I'm supposed to suspend reality, that Metropolis was evacuated.
It's not the suspension of reality. It's more so that they make a point to say, okay, we're at least going to try to evacuate the city in this one. We're at least going to put the effort in. They do not. They do not once say we're evacuating the city in this. They have people maybe running away from the bomb that's going off from this giant gravity pusher thing.
Because the Metropolis and Man of Steel didn't have they didn't know this was coming. They didn't know 15 9/11s. They didn't know.
I don't disagree. Then Superman shouldn't have been flying through buildings trying to kill Zod in the buildings. I don't disagree. Right, they should have punched and he should have made an effort to get Zod away from the city then.
Listen, what I think this whole conversation comes down to.
Should we fight about this at your wedding? Should we make a scene during the wedding?
I don't want to fight about this, okay?
We need controversy for views. Yes, absolutely do that. Thank you.
I just need to accept that maybe Superman is not my favorite character, and maybe I prefer this biblical version of the character, okay? So, here's another example. The kid lifting the flag. Cool. That's Superman. That's classic Superman charm and allure. I prefer the biblical version where there's a shot in Zack Snyder where these people are on a roof and you just see a hand reaching out to Superman. Like that's more like
Superman then left them to die and then served face and aura farmed in that sunlight. He left them to die, George. He said, if you believing is not seeing, you should have believed in me before you saw me, and he left them to die.
David's not aura farming left and right in this movie, man.
No, I will get to
the entire final sequence is David.
He saves the building, saves that car. The car drives off. He drops the building. Aura farms in the middle of the wasteland. I love that moment. That's the best part of the movie, where he just stands there and he says, "Yeah, I'm the fucking man because I just saved all these people because this building was empty, and then I dropped said building." Like, it's not, we're not in the Invincible universe where Omni-Man's bloody all the time. Like, he's just being a guy, man, and he's trying to help people.
Fucking crazy. Listen, maybe, like I said, maybe I'm just not as big a Superman fan as I thought I was, and maybe this movie is charging that reality for me. Unfortunately, okay, maybe that's the case. I'm sorry, but that might just be the case. Maybe I just don't like the whimsical Superman as much as everyone else.
I accept. Moving on.
Anyway, back to Superman.
That was fun. We should go back.
That was good. Mateo, clip that shit, man. We need that.
Mateo's gonna have a field day with this episode, man.
People entering the giveaway. Clip that shit and use that for your edits.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Perfect. Mention the giveaway finally in the spoiler section where something
finally mention it. Yeah.
After the Superman review, we'll try to mention it again.
Yes.
It's up to you. It's up to one of us to remember.
I'll put it in the rundowns. Therefore, there's no way we'll miss it.
Good job. So then they have so the city is splitting in half. Then Green Lantern, Metamorpho, and Hawkgirl go and stop the controversy or the conflict. In Jarhanpur. Basically, and I think this is kind of where, this movie was marketed as like these superheroes are very corporatized. They're going to be changed for Superman to do good rather than to just go where they're told. I think this scene does a good job, like has an emotional payoff of like them saving and being heroes. I don't think it does their transition very well because the last time we saw them was them basically telling Lois Lane to fuck off. They're not going to go save Superman because they don't need to. So I don't think it does a great job going from point A to point B. I think you obviously get from point A to point B, but I don't think it does an amazing job getting there. That's just my opinion. But then the main conflict is back in Metropolis. The city's splitting in half because of the pocket dimension. Superman is fighting Ultraman, and he's fighting the engineer. And basically, I like how they try to kill him. They basically fill his lungs with nanites, and like, obviously, I'm sure there's reason this wouldn't work in comics, but I don't know. I liked how they try to kill him. He eventually breaks away from the nanites, flying up to the outer space. I thought what he was going to do is fly to the sun and burn him off. That's kind of what I would have liked, like go to the yellow sun where he gets his powers. But basically then he flies back down and because of the friction, pulls them all off. It is revealed then once they hit the ground, because it's Ultraman, Superman, the engineer, all hitting the ground at a super high rate. Ultraman is then revealed to be a Superman clone, which I don't know if you guys knew. I pretty well knew that was.
I didn't know this.
I just don't know shit about Superman lore. So
yeah,
this is one like this is one that like it was a very hot like theory. I didn't know for sure, but I like watched a lot of theory videos on it. So I was interested to hear you guys didn't know that. So yeah, it's a Superman clone. They fight. You get Lex Luthor kind of being crazy and talking through Ultraman. Ultraman is basically like a dumber and stronger Superman. Lex is like talking through him, like doing his hits, and this is where he gives like one of the best monologues in my opinion, like a great monologue of basically really Superman monologue. Yeah, Superman saying, you're envious of me, and him saying, yes, I am envious of you, and I'm envious of Galileo and Einstein when they're mentioned in the same breath of me, but at least they did something on this earth where you just got thrown into this universe and everyone praises you. And he's like, yes, maybe my envy is what drives me. My envy is kind of what's going to save humanity because it's going to annihilate you. And then he just starts 1A, punch. Like, great scene. I had that pulled up because I literally tweeted that exact monologue yesterday. And it's doing numbers. So thanks, y'all. But great
I like
monologue.
it, you can.
Huh?
I'm gonna go and like it for you right now.
Wait, Lex didn't
Dog.
Lex didn't really like praise Galileo. He kind of like shit on all of it.
No, he says I'm envious, or he says whenever
he's like,
Galileo and Einstein are mentioned in the same breath of me, I throw up a little bit.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at
that's
least
what he
they
says.
did. At least they did something on this earth, whereas
Yeah,
you just
okay.
got thrown into it and you're praised. Yeah, so he wants to. It very much like in this scene, you don't get a ton of motivation behind Lex earlier in the movie, other than that he just hates Superman. I think this scene like revives it all of like, he's just a hater to be a hater because this guy's getting praised and he's a hater of everyone. But he respects that maybe they at least did something, whereas he wants to be the most praised kind of person on this earth. I think it gives a great backstory to Lex, or not even backstory, but just like great motivation to Lex in this one scene. Superman stops, Superman and Ultraman fight. I talked to Sammy about this and Alex, we talked a lot about the movie in general, but Sammy was like, I don't appreciate, like, he can't like this movie because he thought Superman like killed or let Ultraman die. Fairly confident Ultraman's not dead. He went through the black hole and he'll probably become Bizarro, which is just another Superman villain that's basically just Superman but stronger and dumber. So I'm fairly confident he's not dead.
You could say Superman wouldn't know that.
He wouldn't know that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can go back and forth all day if you'd like to.
I'm sure you two could.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you probably could.
We talked it for a while. But yeah, I think it's, I think it's pretty clear that Ultraman's not dead. Probably will come back as Bizarro, which I think like Sammy agrees now that like we've talked it. But again, back to your point, Tyler, would he have known that? No, doesn't. Yeah. So
dude, speaking of
not
Sammy,
my Superman though. This bad Superman iteration.
I think Sammy tweeted saying like that there was some decision that like he didn't agree with, and then someone responded like Bizarro exclamation point. And it's just so funny being someone so out of the loop, not knowing the names of characters. I'm like, is that a character name? Or is he saying like, yeah, that was a Bizarro choice?
Bizarro move.
Yeah.
During this, by the way, you get probably what I thought to be the funniest moment in this movie is when they all load in the Daily Planet gang, Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, and then
the dude
Ron
just to
Troop,
sit him on the floor.
Cat Grant,
and he says,
and Steve Lambert load into the T-Sphere. Basically, they ask like how many seats are in the T ship, and she says, I don't know, 5 or 6. So they load 6 people on and there's only 5 seats. And then, Beck Bennett, funny guy, probably the best cast member to come out of SNL in a long while. Just being on the floor, not getting a seat when they take off.
That guy's probably flying all over the place on the floor. That's crazy.
Yeah, hilarious moment in this. They basically pulled the rug out of Lex, like revealing what Eve revealed earlier in the movie of like his grand plan. After Superman, saves the day, beats Ultraman, he flies up to the Lex ship, gives a great speech of like, basically Lex calling him an alien. This is where he gives the speech, which half of it was revealed in the trailers. But basically saying like, every day I wake up, I put on my shoes, I lace them up, just trying to make the best decisions possible. I love, I cry, I feel, I'm a human just like you. Really great speech, really great David Cornsweet moment. Again, one of those I wish I didn't see in you don't like it. I wish I didn't see it in the trailer because like I would have liked to see this firsthand. That's
his boots
that's
don't even have laces. What is he talking about?
But do they? Was he not?
I'm looking at it right now.
In the first look, he's tying up laces that don't exist.
I don't know if is he tying. I do like that the first look is like kind of the climax of the film, almost of like him putting his boots on.
Yeah,
I got to go look at it now. Superman,
no, it's him like pulling it up, like slipping on. It looks like
it looks
does
like
look like that could be a Photoshop shoelace tie.
Yeah, so no laces. He might not say he laces his boots up. He might say he puts his boots on. I don't remember the exact quote. I'm sorry. But either way, I like that the first look kind of ties into like the final big emotional moment of the movie. I liked that. And then I did not like, this is a very much a Hulk and Loki moment where Lex is basically like giving another monologue spiel, and then Crypto takes him down before he can like finish. I don't care for that kind of rug pull. Again, it's a Loki and Hulk thing. They did it once, great. Don't do it anymore.
What was the Loki
so I didn't
Hulk
love that
from? Just out of interest.
Loki was basically like, "You're
Avengers.
beneath me. I'm a god," and then Hulk just starts slamming him in the first
remember.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Which good moment because Hulk's just kind of a fucking like, I don't know. I liked it better than this was just Crypto being, Crypto. So maybe the only knock on Crypto scene, but I think this is more on the writing. And then they're all arrested. Everyone's happy. Superman recovers. This is where you get the scene again from the trailer, the big kiss between Lois and Superman.
Very Superman-like kiss. Very
Superman-like.
Yeah.
Like they're ascending in the building, like flying up, like great scene. Lois says, "I love you" back. And yeah, it's just a very good ending in my opinion. And then he goes back to the Fortress of Solitude. He heals up, and this is where
just on that scene. Sorry, Cam. Before you carry on, I just thought to about this. So the scene we just speaking about the big like ascending kiss, which again is symbolic of Superman. That's like a really the Superman moment, or at least one of. I saw a tweet earlier. It was kind of mad. So obviously in different locations around the world, in different regions, they have like laws on censorship and stuff. What they're allowed to show. I followed a guy from India, and he said that whole sequence was cut, which I think is wild. Like the whole kiss sequence.
Yeah,
I think that would have taken away so much from the film because that's such a Superman moment. Do you not think?
Yeah, I feel like that's a perfect scene.
Perfect scene for Superman. Perfect.
Yeah.
So symbolic for him. So I just thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I really like the ending with that. And then they go back to the fortress. He heals up, and that's where you get Millie Alcock's Kara Zor-El. Flies
before
in.
we go into that, I did not know. Right, in England, people don't react that much to moments like cameos and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know I saw it in an early screening, so granted it was with a lot of Superman fans who are like dressed as Superman, whatever. I did not know people cared that much about fucking John Cena's Peacemaker because people went fucking
people went wild for that.
People went wild crazy. I don't know if we forgot to mention that. We didn't mention that, did we? People went wild.
I forgot about that one.
Wild.
People did go wild for that as well in my screening, which people love John Cena's Peacemaker. So he, obviously getting a season 2 was a funny cameo, just John Cena being John Cena.
So is that show like
that show's
Cena's
really good.
one of the great like superhero shows?
Yeah, I think it's up there.
Okay, I didn't realize it was
very
that
good first season.
Interesting.
Then so you get Millie Alcock's Kara Zor-El, basically a drunk. I'm excited. Drunk, depressed Supergirl. I think it'll be an interesting look, and I think maybe this George is where you get a less whimsical like super person movie because she's kind of
why'd you get depressed?
Because she's very drunk, and I think it's because she's basically goes from planet to planet trying to get drunk because her planet exploded.
Well, she said
she remembered.
No,
she didn't say this. I
thought she said she went from planet to planet.
I thought they made her.
No, they say she goes from planet to planet getting drunk. But I think it's not because she likes to party. I think it's more to cope with her entire planet dying. I think that's more like of the Supergirl.
I would imagine that's very much going to be the tone of the film. Is it a film?
I didn't get that. Yeah, I got it as she just enjoys having fun.
I'm not saying you might have gotten that from the film. I'm saying this is more like of the character of Kara Zor-El. I don't know how great of a job they did showing that. I think they did a pretty good enough job, but clearly, you didn't necessarily get it. So I think the Supergirl movie will be a very different tone from this.
I expected this cameo. I very much expected this one.
I did not. I liked.
Did you not?
It kind of popped up, and I was like, oh, cool. Honestly, I didn't expect anything because I thought they hadn't done anything because they need this movie to perform well before they start really ramping things up.
You didn't expect the Robert Pattinson cameo in the second post-trailer scene? Crazy. Wow. What a moment.
I have a take that I think...
I completely forgot she was cast as Supergirl. And then one scene when Lois asks, "You have a dog?" and Clark responds with, "It's more of a foster situation." I was like, okay, there's Supergirl.
I didn't get that.
I still didn't think she was going to show up. I didn't think she was going to show up, but I was like, okay, so it's Supergirl.
There's the link from.
Yeah, I was like, there's that link.
Yeah.
I shouldn't think of it.
And then the movie ends with kind of how it begins of Superman liking to watch like videos of his parents. And now it's like Ma and Pa Kent in another scene that made me cry. Just I like their vibes and good scene. And it ends with the Crab Rangoon band or whatever we talked earlier. Yeah, so that's Superman.
What were the post credits? I know the one was I'm just sitting.
The
out
post credits was him.
What was
Oh, it
the
was
second?
like
I
nothing.
left.
Yeah.
For a second.
What was the
The
second,
second
one?
one was.
That.
I saw it.
Wow, what's up with you people? The second one is just him and Mr. Terrific looking at a building and them being like, "Well, Superman's like, it's off a little," and Mr. Terrific's like, "I did the best I could. I put back a plan."
It's like
Whatever.
the symmetry. It's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah,
James Gunn's been very public that he has always said that post-credit scenes shouldn't be like big, meaningful, like introducing the next movie.
Yeah,
like,
you would if this were a Marvel movie, it would have been like the Supergirl reveal would have been post-credit, and then like the other
the
one.
second post-credit might be like
yeah,
Lex Luthor like talking to some other supervillain, like we got to get back at him.
Yeah, it was really
exactly.
nothing. Yeah, it was just a comedic element.
So yeah,
it was like the trap post credit. You know, it was that post credit, the trap sequence.
But that
I
was
think that was
all-timer,
the
though.
post
That was
credit. Yeah,
all-timer,
where he's like, "Oh my god."
Like it
That's
was like
the
that,
trap
just
guy.
comedic relief kind of thing. Yeah, essentially.
I'm trying to think. The post-credit scene is like basically those first look images that we got like behind the scenes, like where him and Mr. Terrific were walking through the street. Yeah, so that's kind of funny. That's Superman. Any other thoughts? We kind of talked for hours on that one. Any thoughts, comments, concerns? Great movie. Like I said, it's a 5 out of 5 right now. Frankly, it's probably not a 5 out of 5.
Score's great.
I have a couple opinions on it.
Great.
Score's great. We can all agree that. I think Cam can agree. As well.
And the perfect. And I know we touched on the music, but so the score is great, but the soundtrack really is like, because everyone's like, "Oh, James Gunn is gonna like play the greatest hits." Like he has like classic songs in it, but just a couple. I think like the mix and balance of score and soundtrack in this is probably. I'm not gonna say my favorite because I love the score heavy Guardians films, but I think he balanced them so well in this. I think
who is the
music was
nailed. Who is the composer on this?
John Murphy.
Thank you.
Wait, John Murphy.
Trivia Ton Champion season 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wow,
He knows ball. He knows ball. He might not know what he's talking about in this movie.
I might not know
ball,
but I know ball.
Yeah. He knows ball.
John Murphy
Tell
and
us about the
David
giveaway,
Fleming.
Cam.
Interesting.
So
he did
Superman.
He's
2025. Please,
Sunshine. He did 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
He's done the Guardians movies, or at least maybe the third.
He did Suicide Squad as well.
Suicide Squad as well. I think he did Kick-Ass, I believe.
He did Snatch, the Guy Ritchie one. That's kind of interesting. He did Kick-Ass. Miami Vice. Wow, what a cool guy.
Did he really? Oh, that
yeah, he did Miami Vice. Crazy.
All right, I'm cutting you off now, man. Ending this Superman review. Please comment what you think on Superman. Feel free to like attach your Letterboxd review, just so you can have other people see it. Feel free to let us know what you rated Superman. Appreciate everyone listening to that very long review.
And if there's anything you want to clip up, Cam,
we gave you plenty of material.
I'm working on it, folks. I'm working on it.
I was trying to give you like a cool segue, you know.
I appreciate that. I was trying to get other points, but we will mention we're doing a giveaway of a free 5 people of a free year of Patreon. So basically in our Discord and our Patreon reviews, and then early access to these episodes. If you feel so inclined to post a clip of the pod on social media for us, we would greatly appreciate kind of getting the word out to people that maybe don't just follow us in the pod itself. So yeah, if you want to do that and post some clips from the episode, we'd greatly appreciate it. And then we'll do a free year of Patreon. My takes, one takeaway from Superman is that I think Pattinson would really work in this universe. I think.
Oh no, you don't.
Yeah, I came away.
I was surprised how many people on Twitter are like pro Pattinson.
Superman.
I actually haven't seen that. I've still seen the anti, but I would like the dual differences of like Gotham being the grimy and Metropolis being like the tech savvy like utopia. I was way anti it prior to this movie coming out. I'm kind of very pro it right now.
Can I get a yes or no from everyone just quickly? So Cam, you're yes. George, no, obviously.
No.
And Tyler?
I'm fully pro purely because having 2 Batmans at the same time is a recipe for absolute disaster. That has 0% chance of working.
Why I'd
0%
be pro.
chance would work.
That's the only reason why I'd be pro, because it's very difficult to have two.
And think right now we're doing like Snyder versus James Gunn, which is two different generations of Superman. Imagine doing like the live action in real time Batman 1 versus Batman 2. It
would be very, very good.
I just want Batman and Superman to be friends on screen. God damn it. I don't want Batman versus Superman. I don't want Justice League where Superman's dead the entire time. I just want my Caped Crusader and my Man of Hope working together. Come on, put them together. God damn it. Yeah, just come on. But I think it would work. And then real quickly, Superman rankings. Superman 3 sucks ass. Superman 4 is a little bit better, but not great. And then Superman 2, good movie. Superman Returns, good movie. Man of Steel, good movie. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Ultimate Edition, good movie. Superman 1978, really good movie, and then Superman 2025, great movie. Those are my Batman.
The ones I've seen recently, I'll be ranking 4 Batman vs Superman. No, sorry, 5 Batman vs Superman, 4 Superman 2, 3 Man of Steel, 2. No, I'm lying. 5 Superman 2025, 4 Superman 2. 3 Batman vs Superman, 2 Man of Steel, and then 1 Superman 78. That's it.
I don't have a ranking. I didn't rewatch all of them.
That's fine. Okay, moving on to movies and trailers. Or movie news and trailers. Really not that much this week. Got a lot of DCU news, obviously, with the release of Superman. They're talking like upcoming ideas and projects. So we'll start with that. Their output goal per year is about 2 live action films, multiple TV shows. I don't know if that means multiple a year or just multiple in general, and then 1 animated show a year. So pretty MCU formulaic of like, we're trying to put out a couple movies, couple shows in there. But I think James Gunn will do a lot better job at like bending different genres, like with this new Lantern series. Basically the idea is it's what's that show? Now I'm going crazy. Matthew McConaughey and
True Detective.
True Detective. It's a very True Detective show with the Lanterns. Like that's fun. Hopefully it's good.
Is the next project Clayface, or is there one before that?
I think Clayface. No. Next project's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
When is that?
Supergirl's already started filming. Clayface just got cast, right?
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
And then David Zaslav says he met with Dwayne Johnson to talk DC future before Black Adam flopped, and then just canceled that shit.
Might have been the well needed move or unfortunate happen for Dwayne Johnson to commit to his release.
To commit to better movies for Dwayne Johnson.
Kind of going off of that news of just canceling shit. Apparently, the first bit of action that James Gunn took when he took over DC was canceling Wonder Woman 3. Like, he immediately scrapped. That was that was the first thing he did.
I didn't see that, but okay.
Yeah, I just read that the other day, which is just hysterical.
Was it going to be
Gal Gadot? You were going for this one.
Yeah. I think it was Gal Gadot's 3rd Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were going. They also canceled David Zaslav. Apparently, this isn't confirmed, but reportedly dismissed the Ta-Nehisi Coates, I don't know how to pronounce her name, sorry, Superman movie she was directing. They called it too woke. And so, bad
real?
take, I'm sure. Yeah, he said that. Again, this is a report. Like, it's not an interview with him or anything. But yeah, they're saying that that's canceled. It was going to be Black Superman during the civil rights movement. Probably would have been much more interesting than the Supermans we were getting prior, in my opinion. But James Gunn's considering TV spinoffs for Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen, which the Jimmy Olsen one is just interesting, but Mr. Terrific I think would be cool. And then David Cornsweet is under contract for a sequel, which to me that's like the biggest no shit in my opinion. But I'd be shocked if they weren't signed up for 10 fucking years, to be honest with you. But who knows? Okay, moving on from DCU news. Not much this week. Really nothing in the trailers universe. King of the Hill revival series, the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants.
SpongeBob looks shit now. Just want to get that out there.
The Morning Show season 4, and then Wednesday season 2, which are all trailers I have no need to talk about. Yeah,
I've no
really bad trailer week. That's it. news-wise, Big Bang Theory spin-off starring Stewart. Did anyone watch Big Bang Theory?
No,
Stewart
it's
saves
shit.
the universe, or Stewart fails to save the universe. I'm sorry. Can't believe this is the thing. I don't believe it until I see it, but there was a report this week that it's in the works. A new Night at the Museum movie is in the works. No other information other than it's not going to be the Smithsonian. So at that point, who cares? A24 and CMC Pictures are teaming up to bring the English version of Neza 2 to theaters on August 22nd. Neza 2 is the highest grossing animated movie of all time.
Apparently it's really good as well.
Apparently it's really good. Apparently Neza 1 sucks.
Yeah, I heard
so
that, but Neza 2 is
just,
generation.
I had
Yeah.
downloaded the first one for the flight, and then when I realized I couldn't watch the second one anywhere, I was like, I'm not going to bother with the first
Apparently
one.
you don't have to watch it. Apparently it's like,
Yeah, but still, I mean, at least we in America, we can't watch Neja 2 anywhere.
I don't know if we can.
So
Yeah,
I had
August
downloaded
22nd, you'll
Neja.
be able to watch.
Yeah,
You'll be able to watch it.
I had downloaded it.
Oh,
for the
we
flight,
can't watch it here
the first
either.
one.
Yeah, we can't see it here either. Interesting.
Neza 2
we-
has made $2.2 billion at the global box office, and I gotta
Fucking hell.
I gotta assume when it gets released here, like I gotta assume it beats Avatar. It just needs 700 million. Like I'm
That's
doing that
insane.
much. I don't know.
We'll see how much it makes America. I don't think that's going to be. It's not going to be a Pixar level. Because I don't think just inherent Western bias. I don't think parents are going to be wanting to take their kids to something called Neza 2.
But 2.1 billion for an animated film is
it's insane. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's making crazy numbers. Highest grossing animated movie ever. As I mentioned, it's currently the fifth highest grossing movie ever.
It's got really high ratings as well.
Titanic is adjusted for. I think these are adjusted for inflation.
I don't think Titanic.
2.2 billion would make sense at number 5.
Yeah, Titanic actually did. Yeah.
Did Titanic do that in '97?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Good for it. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
know
crazy.
That.
It was just in for inflation. I think Gone with the Wind would be 1.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dune Messiah, officially titled Dune Part 3. Filming has begun. Kind of lame to take out the.
We still haven't seen him.
Yeah,
still haven't seen him.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Obviously, hopefully it's just.
I hope we get the confirmation about Robert Pattinson being officially signed on. That'd be cool.
He is.
Yeah,
he's not. He's not officially. No.
Oh shit.
Still like heavily rumored.
Does Dune Part 3 instead of just Messiah imply that it's going to be like Messiah plus Children of Dune a little bit?
I don't know anything about Dune.
Yeah, I've seen that theory all over the place, and I don't know if I buy it. I think Denis literally just wants to continue Dune Part 2, Part 3. I think
which I don't mind.
He just wants to keep it clean. Also, sorry to interrupt. Iga Swiatek is 1 game away from a double bagel in a major final.
Nice.
A double bagel,
crazy.
So I'm like, nah.
6-0, 6-0.
Her opponent's literally crying on TV right now. And the match isn't even over.
She's literally crying.
That's crazy.
Making him cry when he was
in the works.
Crazy.
Garfield 2 is in the works with Chris Pratt returning. Who cares? John M. Chu set to direct the Hot Wheels film. Wonderful.
I love the teaser of the Garfield 2 thing where like the top reply, because it was like Chris Pratt showing it like a pizza or whatever that Garfield 2's been announced, and then like someone replies like, yes, because Garfield famously his favorite food was pizza, of course. It's like, come on, if you're gonna do that, just do lasagna. Like, what are we doing?
Lasagna. Yeah.
True.
All right. That is it for us this week. A long episode, long review of Superman. Appreciate y'all humoring me because I love Superman. Check out our Patreon. Check out the YouTube. Check out the Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts. We're on everything, right? So Spotify. Go look at it all. We appreciate the support. Tell a friend, tell a family member. It's hard to grow on YouTube as we're seeing. So please, just send something to a friend. We appreciate it. Shout out to our executive producers, Stefan Nieberg, Stefan Johnson, Cody Whitney, and Cole Beaver. Appreciate y'all's support as always. Can't thank you guys enough for how much support you bring to the Patreon. And then, if you guys want to follow us anywhere, we're at ReelTok Podcast on basically everything. This week, we have Thursday, we have a real quick, as always, a movie mafia game that Tyler has set up. And then Friday is Perfect Days review on the Patreon. So if you want to check that out, go check out the Patreon. We appreciate all your support. Next week, we will be doing Eddington. Most likely will just be Tyler and George, just a heads up. Seth will, I think, already be on the plane to New York.
No, I'll be getting
in London. Traveling down to London for the flight.
Okay, traveling down to London for the flight. I will honestly, just with 2 kids, getting them ready on the Saturday. I'm not even gonna attempt to be here. If I can be, I will, obviously, but I don't want to promise anything. It most likely will be Tyler. Or Jake.
Busy weekend for us. But
Yeah, but then we're all
IRL.
together, 1 week away. I'm so excited.
IRL
1 week
content
away.
coming.
Very, very excited. So yeah, can't wait for that. Love you all. Have a wonderful week, and goodbye.
Peace.